Yeah, you got the sick look going on for sure.
You know, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do.
It wasn't a diss, just
I was gonna come with jeans, but then I was like, why would I ever do that?
yeah, just be yourself at all times.
I hate being sick. Is there ever a good time to be sick though? There's a couple.
When
Like you don't have a lot going on at work, but it's like still work and you don't want to go.
Yeah.
And you wake up like obviously it's asked to be like really sick, but like if you're just a little sick and it's like can't go in today.
Yeah.
You know?
Or maybe when like a person from your past that you don't particularly want to see, you make plans with them because you feel like you have to, maybe they're coming through the town. You're like, I gotta see Brad while he's here. You know what I mean?
Fuck Brad.
But you don't really want to go, and then you get just a little bit sick.
A little bit. Just a little bit. I don't know. I got a whole new outlook on being sick once I saw Osei be sick. Because living with you being sick was the craziest mind fuck ever.
What does he do?
Continue with life completely as normal as if he's not sick at all. And just coughing all over the place.
That's like the opposite of how I like to be sick.
That's the worst way to be sick. I feel like that is how you elongate sickness forever.
Still here.
Yeah, you got it off. You got it off. How many people do you think you got sick? Do you feel bad about getting other people sick?
No.
Why?
Well, that's not on me.
Yes, it is.
What can I do?
I think that's what I'm saying. Like if you get someone sick, that's fine. Because like you said, at the end of the day, you can't like stop yourself from breathing, all that. But I do think you should take the necessary precautions to try not to get other people sick. You know, like me, like we get each other sick just we're gonna be in close proximity. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna go to work and get other people sick.
Well, it kind of just sounded like you were.
I mean, I think I'm gonna be better. I
kind of remember the last time you were sick when you canceled the pod but still went into work, and I was like, "What are you doing, bro?" And you're like, "Hey, gotta go to work."
And you could also avoid people at work. You could stand in a conference room.
Oh, you're walking it back.
Bro, I'm not trying to get other niggas sick.
I don't really give a fuck about getting other people sick. They're like people like when a virus is going around, you think I'm the only one that's got it? That's gonna give it to you? You know what I mean? Like there's so many people that are sick right now. If I didn't give this to you, even though I probably did give this one to you, if it wasn't from me, it would have been from some other fucking person. You know what I'm saying?
I know nobody else sick right now.
No, there's mad people sick right now.
Who's sick, nigga?
Me.
Just you.
No, Caden was just sick.
So the person you live with.
My friend Ella is sick.
Niggas that you be around is
Miles
sick.
is sick.
It seems like you got your network sick.
I haven't seen Ella in a long time, but she told me she was sick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was texting people to pop out to the Radio's Dead party, and I got a lot of, hey, trying to get back on my feet this weekend. Been really sick.
Damn.
I got that response a couple times. So either there's a virus going around, or,
I was gonna say, or
people just don't really fuck with me.
Niggas wasn't fucking with it. It's fine though. It's fine. We'll get through it. You know, I'm gonna be my active, vivacious, bubbly personality self today.
Whoa, vivacious.
You know.
All right.
You saying I'm not?
All right, Mr. 1400.
I try my best. What up, y'all? Welcome back to the Stereo Vision Podcast.
What is good? Episode 131.
Back at y'all, man. Chopping shit. I'm Miles. To my left, I got Osei. To the right, we got Spencer, man.
Yerp.
Here to give y'all no game. I was going to say we're here to give y'all some game, but I don't think that's what we really do. Just kind of talk shit.
That's a terrible thing to say at the very beginning of
you
our
don't
podcast.
Think we give niggas game?
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Rewind that Kojo episode.
I would like to think that there's people that are learning from our conversations, learning
from our experiences.
Yeah, our experiences.
Definitely.
The Kojo episode, I think we bring on some quality guests, you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
I think
go ahead. And I was telling Spencer, or I guess I had a topic in which I was explaining this to Spencer. We have a huge value proposition. You know what I mean? We're three young people in the industry.
Yeah.
We have insight on music. Not only from like a production standpoint and like a creation standpoint, but also just like on how it's marketed. And I feel like people could definitely get some value from that,
I hope to.
So we giving some game for sure.
I'll give them some knowledge, man.
And
keep watching.
Beyond that, like most people are pretty dumb.
Yeah. And
I think we're all pretty smart.
I was going to say, do you feel like we're all three smarter than the average? I think so.
Yeah, definitely. I think, I think we all have different kinds of IQ that we bring to the table. You know what I mean?
But a baseline intelligence level, I'm saying.
I think you got that.
I think we are all at a baseline. This nigga want to act like he's not. This nigga was the valedictorian of his high school.
Oh, I'm not saying that I'm not
We
smart.
are all at a baseline level, I think, more intelligent than the average person, I think.
Yeah, I think I bring a lot of emotional intelligence to this podcast,
Okay.
to be honest. And I think I also bring, no, really just that.
I'm trying to really think about the emotional intelligence aspect from Spencer.
I think I'm very emotionally intelligent and very emotionally sound. And I think I'm great in all sorts of relationships, whether it's friendships or romantic ones. I think I have a lot to add there.
I'd say you're more than I'd say emotional intelligence, which I do think you have. I think you're in touch with your emotions.
That's a good way to put it.
I think you know how to articulate how you feel, and you don't run away from your feelings, which I think is what causes a lot of people to like say and do things they don't really mean. You know?
But you think my feelings are wrong?
I don't think your feelings are always right. I cannot say that I think your feelings are always right.
That's very fair.
But I respect them when you say it because I know that you're not just operating off like spur of the moment.
Yeah.
Like you've taken a second to really understand how you feel. Right or wrong, you're like, this is me and I'm going to stand in this.
Oh, I like that.
I fuck with that.
I think you bring a certain level of confidence to every topic that I really admire. You be saying shit that's just untrue, false, don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but really you say it with your chest, and I think that's a great skill for a podcaster.
I need to, capping for sure. That's why I wear the sunglasses, bro. Niggas can't really see it. You know, all I have to do is see a headline on Twitter, and I can say something with full confidence.
What do you think has been your best lie?
Ooh, what's been my best lie on camera? Shit. I mean, I capped about a lot of artists, about a lot of niggas' music, saying I capped about a lot of niggas' music, but we're not gonna revisit that. We're not gonna harp on that.
What does Osei bring?
What does Osei bring?
What kind of IQ does he
I feel
bring?
like I'm just gonna get cooked.
No. What type of IQ does Osei?
Osei's just our pretty face in the corner.
Nah. Because Osei bring
I'm just kidding.
He brings an element of like randomness that I can't always, because like I don't know what your opinion is going to be on a topic. Like I think you are very wide ranging in your views to where I can't like pin you down as you're this specific type of person. Like you're always going to be on the guy side of things. You're always going to be on the girl side of things. Like you're just kind of all over the place.
Been told that before,
but I think that's good. You know,
I think Osei brings the most career IQ, like somebody that's kind of been around a little longer than us, a little bit older than us.
I would definitely agree with that.
Just someone that's like climbed the ranks already, you know what I mean, a little bit, and kind of does it really eloquently, you know. So I think I even sit here in this chair and learn about where I want to go from Osei, you know.
That's how we doing it.
I've been told that before too.
Osei's been complimented a lot. How we all living? How was our weeks? How we all feeling? How are the vibes coming into this fine Sunday? We feeling good?
Yeah, I finally kicked my little illness. Finally got a run in today, first one of the week.
Fuck you.
Why? For getting you sick and getting better?
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
No,
but
y'all were making out?
No.
You like that one?
Is that funny?
Got him, right? Fuck you.
Kissing with tongue. But worse. But like, you know, shout out my dog Anthony. While I was sick as shit, logging no miles. We have a little bet on this month. He logged 25 this week, so I'm definitely losing in the running category. No, I had a great weekend. I was in San Diego for a little day trip. My boy was throwing a San Diego house party, day party. So cruised down there, hung out in La Jolla. Saw some nature, saw some sea lions, some dolphins.
Damn, nigga. Because I saw the post of you at a breakfast, but I thought you was just at a nice little spot. You drove all the way to San Diego?
Day trip. Yep.
Y'all be road tripping. That's tough.
I love a road trip, you know?
It's a good little vibe.
You know, got the party off, then kind of got to chill out for some time, went to dinner, you know, walked on the beach around 9, 10 p.m. I'm like, all right, we're good to go home, and like hit it home.
A little 2 hours back. I heard a little bit of Osei's day yesterday. I just saw you had a lot of in and out movement yesterday. What were you on?
Yeah, I went to Rolling Loud yesterday.
Yeah.
That was cool. Went for work. I had to get content of Real Boston Richie, because I didn't know this at the time, but when I pulled up, his cameraman wasn't there. He was stuck in the truck behind him. So I ended up having to go on stage and just getting some iPhone footage for vlogs and stuff.
I'm sorry, he was stuck in the truck behind him?
So Rolling Loud has gotten super strict because I think they just had issues with artists. So even I was trying to get in, and like they turned me around to 3 different entrances and exits that I had to go through. But they only allow like a certain amount of people in on the stage at one time. And I guess like through the artist entrance, you have to have like one car, and they brought two. So one of them was stuck for a little while Boston had to go and perform. And so when I got to the stage, because I was on foot, when I got to the stage, he wasn't even there.
Yeah.
So I was like, I guess I'm the cameraman.
It's my time.
This is my time. So I was on stage. You know what I'm saying? I was in the crowd. I was doing a lot.
I was gonna
Can't
say
lie.
you weren't like one of like you didn't come off like a groupie though. Like you was really there on your grind, you know. I seen you getting the angles really locked in with the iPhone footage. It was tough.
I mean, niggas been on stage before, you feel me?
It's regular for you. That was light for you. You know, this wasn't your first time at all.
Yeah, but it's not your moment. You know,
Yeah.
it's the artist moment. And I think some people, it is funny because when I first started doing shows, especially like back in school, back at Virginia Tech, and I did have to have some speaking moments where I did hold the mic. It's like a very powerful feeling. You know what I mean? Like you get on stage and there's an adrenaline rush and you're like, oh wow, like I'm talking and everyone's listening. But I think like once you get used to that and you're like used to being like in that space, you're like, okay, like, but what is it that will make this a good or great show?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And obviously like getting in the way, doing unnecessary movements while you are on stage, like that's not, it's gonna ruin the artist's performance. Also, I'm on a live stream with like, you know, thousands of people watching, so I'm not trying to do anything too crazy.
Oh, so you're actually going live from the phone?
No. Like Rolling Loud was doing their
live
own
stream.
live
Oh, got
stream.
you.
So like, obviously we'll watch that back and clip that too, but it was just like, I don't know. I feel like in those moments, the best thing to do is to assert yourself and like be present and do your job, but just not get in the way. Like literally physically, don't step in front. Try and just like get in tight, but like take a step back when needed. And then also like you have to have the artist's trust.
When is it appropriate to dance?
It's never appropriate.
Like
to
say
dance.
like you really feeling Help Me.
Mm.
And like you like want to hit a little like shoulder movement. Can you do that as long as you keep the camera steady or no?
You know what? I think if you have a mic,
No mic.
no mic.
You.
Oh, just a background dancer.
Yeah.
I think if it's choreographed, yes, but you know, I don't think you can just start moving your shoulders. I think that's a little weird. You know, that's a little strange.
I have a complete different opinion.
Okay.
I mean,
It's funny.
I would definitely be bobbing.
You gotta
Well,
get the crowd
I'm-
hype.
Yeah, I want the crowd to know that, like, if
Oh, you're
you're
doing
hearing
like-
this song right now, no, I'm not doing
Get
that.
loud.
But I want to communicate to the crowd that there's no way you're hearing this impeccable Real Boston Richie performance right now and not at least bobbing your head. I want to say I want to communicate. Hey, I wish I wasn't dancing right now, but this shit is so fire that I can't stop. You know,
So, kind of like those videos that go viral of like the security dancing.
Yep.
exactly,
Yep.
And stuff like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm not doing like you know, I'm like just I might step in beat.
You know?
2-step a little bit,
I'ma do
I would
a little
definitely
bit.
groove a little bit.
I
Yeah.
think his people were in the back doing that anyway, so I didn't need to take that role. You know.
I guess we can't really get all the way into Rolling Loud because everyone knows the biggest thing that happened this week. We were up all night prepping for it. We slept on stream. We made content for it. Playboi Carti officially dropped I Am Music.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be hard for anything else to compete with it for Album of the Year. One of my favorite releases of the year, obviously. I think that Carti, he recognized the moment and took his time, but also almost took a little bit too much time to where niggas were like faking on release dates all the time. We were even questioning once we had it confirmed, basically, that it was dropping Friday. We thought that it still might not come out. Finally came out, 30 songs. How are we feeling about it? 2 days after release?
Yeah. I really loved it. You know, I did it twice. I listened front to back 2 times and it was cool. But then like we kind of talked about in the reaction, I started to shuffle it while I was driving around and different songs started to like poke out at me. You know what I mean? And be like, oh wait, I didn't even really catch this on the listen because of the way it's sequenced.
Yeah.
Cause I have gripes about some of the things surrounding the album, but at the end of the day when I'm shuffling it and just listening to the music, I'm like, wow, these are incredible songs. They sound like elevated versions of what we got on A Whole Lotta Red to me. I think the kind of I heard Joe Budden talk about it with his pod and they were talking about like heavy metal rap, and I'm like I'm not mad at that comparison for some of the harder shit, But I think he evolved that sound from Whole Lotta Red and like did it a lot better in a way that I really liked. And I think he threw it back too with some of the more R&B cuts. What? Oh, my bad.
What?
Carti threw that shit way back. But yeah, like I don't know, the track with The Weeknd and that little R&B vibe run that he did there, that kind of reminded me of pre-Whole Lotta Red, the first two projects, you know?
I mean, fuck Joe Budden and them, honestly. I fuck with Joe heavy, but like I thought that review was super disrespectful. Made them seem completely out of touch with music. I understand like the cop-out answer is like, it's not for me.
Yeah.
But you have to at least give the biggest musical release of the last couple years a fair shake. That felt completely out of touch and disrespectful to me for them to even gloss over it, not even play a full Kendrick verse. Like all of that, really? We're not going to talk about this? Like, I think Parks and Joe especially, and even Ice, who's like so tapped into the street rap music and all that type of sound, you're not even gonna like, it seemed like they were like, this isn't even worth my time.
Mm-hmm.
And while Carti is making music for like the young niggas, those are the people who are really tapped into it, Carti himself is around the same age as a lot of the artists that they be fucking with heavy.
Yeah.
And he got very viable features on this who are artists that you respect. He's just pushing the sound forward. So it's like, I don't know. That really pissed me off. I didn't fuck with that, but we won't give him too much time.
I mean, it's hard for me to chime in on what you're talking about because I didn't watch the Joe Budden take on this. I will say if we were to criticize the project, because I thought it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I thought, again, we talked about how he was using the features even, and I feel like they were kind of stacked in a way where you're getting more and more from him as the album went on. The beat selection is amazing. The production is amazing. I love Swamp Izzo doing the ad-libs and just like, you know, basically narrating the whole project. I do think that Carti is suffering from what a lot of artists are suffering now in the streaming era, which is just like bloated projects. You know, I think 30 songs is a lot. And I think, again, we listened to it super early in the morning, or I guess after we didn't have any sleep. So like maybe that's one take, but I've tried to listen to every single track. Again, like I've tried to listen in order and it just hasn't been what I wanted to hear, you know? There's definitely some extremely strong songs on the project, but did it need to be 30 songs? I don't know. Save that for
what
a
songs
deluxe.
would you take out?
I don't know if I'm saying that there's songs I would take out. I think there's songs I don't like personally. So maybe that's a different take. You know what I mean? Because I think that as a consumer, I still want the album where I can listen front to back. It feels sequenced. It feels like a story. And it feels like something to me where I'm like, okay, this is an album. You know, this to me gave more mixtape vibes. I'm not even going to lie. Because there's a lot of different vibes on there, bro. You've got the R&B stuff going on. You've got whatever him and Kendrick are doing, which is good, but I don't know what you would even call that. You've got the more like heavy metal rock stuff going on too. Like, I don't know. I didn't feel like it was super cohesive all the way through.
I think that from a production standpoint, it felt pretty cohesive from me beginning to end. The one outlier for me was the Ty Dolla $ign track.
Yeah, that sticks out. I love that song, but it definitely sticks out.
That sticks out like a sore thumb. And then obviously people have done their research. This was a 2020 throwaway track with Thug and Gunna, but they took out Gunna's verse for Ty Dolla $ign. And what was funny is, I don't know if they updated on the new mix, but on the original version that came out, if you go listen to Carti's part, there's still some of Gunna's ad-libs in there.
Really?
Which was really funny. Because Thug was like, fuck that nigga, you not on this shit. Yeah. I guess, I don't know, I don't want to feed into no beef narrative or anything like that, but I don't mind 30 tracks when you haven't dropped in 5 years. I think that you're feeding your fans, you're giving them a lot of music, and I think that we had already heard K-pop, Evil Jordan, Hood by Air. And
we had heard K-pop?
I don't think
it was
so.
Ketamine.
Oh.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
And then I want to say like 2 of the other ones were leaks. So it's like, even though it was 30 songs, it felt like closer to like 24 new tracks. Again, it's been 5 years since you've heard new Carti music. I think that he worked with 3 or 4 producers throughout the whole thing. So that's where I get the like cohesiveness from a sound standpoint.
But you also feel like all 30 tracks are super strong.
Yeah, I don't think he missed.
Okay.
Oh, I'm definitely cutting. I don't like the intro pop out, and I don't like Crank personally. Those are the only 2 that like I can say their names and be like, I don't fuck with those.
You know?
But the rest of it, yeah, I mean, I think I have about 12 to 15 saved right now. That number will probably go up as I continue to listen to the album. Let's talk about some of the highlights.
I don't wait, hold on.
Huh.
That is also something that's kind of crazy to me. So you don't have all of them in your library right now.
No.
Like you, but
in
like,
my songs.
But you go like listen to the album as a whole?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I like the album. So the album is in my album discography. So if I'm listening to the album, I'll just shuffle it.
Feel it.
But my liked songs is only songs like I really like, not just kind of like, you know. So like
that's some Spotify shit. Because I be hearing people online talk like I only have this many saved. I'm like, I added the whole album, so everything is saved.
Yeah,
But,
I try to keep. I want my liked songs to only be like shit that I really fuck with, so I can like shuffle that. You know,
But that's what. But like, I like it. I like adding the full thing because then sometimes when I shuffle like all my music, then I get songs. It's like, oh wait, I didn't even think I was fucking with this one. Now I.
That's true. But then sometimes when you shuffle it, you get pop out.
Pop out is not bad.
I don't like pop out.
It's hard to hear fine shit and then hear like pop out or cocaine noise. Or nose.
Cocaine nose. Cocaine nose. The jury's still out for me on that one because I think I kind of like that. But pop out is bad in 95% of situations to me. There's a 5% where I'm like, oh, this probably goes crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to talk about. I think we all like we're gonna get into criticisms like you kind of already started because we probably. I don't know if you have any, but I have some. But like I think we all really like this project.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the highlights. Like what was your guys' favorite songs on music?
I like Olympian a lot. I like
mm-hmm.
Munyon a lot. I like OPM Baby so much. And those three specifically, the like wavy type production, because that's kind of like I put it into a couple different categories. There's like the rock shit, which is like Cocaine Nose, Pop Out. There's the more vibey shit, which is the tracks that I just mentioned. There's the Kendrick stuff, which feels like electronic hip hop type, just like more hype. I don't know. That seems like the most genre pushing stuff to me a little bit.
Well, I feel like all three Kendrick songs fall in different buckets. I don't think they sound. You know what I mean?
I'm talking about a Good Credit.
Okay,
specifically.
Yeah.
But you are right because that song. What's the vibey one? Backdoors.
Yeah, Backdoors.
Backdoors is vibey as fuck. That one is cool. And then there's like the like kind of like upbeat, pretty shit that's like a like Wheezy. And there's one other one, but like
Wheezy reminds me of like playing a video game, like playing like a platformer. But
yeah, my favorite shit is probably Olympian. Munyon is crazy to me too. Yeah, I got a lot of favorites. I don't know.
Yeah, I really like Toxic. I really like Fine Shit, Olympian, Evil Jordan. Even with the changes they made, I still really like that song.
How do we feel about the updated version?
The original was better.
Everyone is saying that.
In my opinion.
Of Evil Jordan or of Obayer?
Evil Jordan.
See, I didn't listen to Evil Jordan a ton, the OG. I don't really know the differences.
There was no intro.
Oh, that's right. I mean, I don't know.
I love the intro. I think the intro is hard, bro. It gets me hyped.
That's not something I'm like going to stand on for sure. I just like it more now. I still like the song. Like I said, I put in my top few songs of the project, but I think right now, like I just like the original Evil Jordan better.
Hopefully, hate it.
Hopefully, it will age better with time. Oh yeah. I've seen those criticisms
too. They hate it.
I mean, that's always gonna be what happens when you change something that people already like. I don't think I've ever seen an artist change a song that was previously released or leaked, and everyone be like, "Oh, thank God you changed that." Everyone always gets pissed. Like think about like the Gambino shit. Everyone was all up in arms about that album. You go back. Yeah, like he improved most of that shit. Besides like the Young Nudie thing.
Really? Well, because you had said that you didn't like it.
Well, I was like, yeah, I don't love it, but I'm not like this doesn't ruin the album for me. People can be so dramatic.
Yeah,
saying that they ruined Hood by Air. Yeah, that snare roll's a little annoying, but I bet in a year you might think that it might be fire. What, you don't like it at all?
I think it's clunky.
I think when he performs it, oh my bad, go ahead.
It just makes an incredible song. It doesn't flow as smoothly. And it feels very like it feels forced. The mix on it wasn't well. It doesn't seem natural to me. Mm-hmm. But I don't hate it. Again, it doesn't ruin the song when I'm not listening to it.
You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of the changes that people are all up in arms about are really not that big. And once you like listen to it on streaming for a year, you're gonna like forget.
Get
honestly,
used to it, yeah.
You know.
And when he performs it tonight, everyone's gonna forget about it. You know, that intro probably sounds so epic live.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
I think what's the name of the track with The Weeknd?
Rather Lie.
Can't Lie?
Rather Lie.
I think Rather Lie is my early just like, oh, that's the best song. To me, yeah. I just think that is like a masterpiece. Honestly, I really love that song. I really love Backdoor. I love Radar a lot.
Oh,
Radar's
yes.
cool.
I almost wish there were more songs like that on this project.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was super interesting going to that old Gucci, like Waka Flocka, like type production and instrumental. I thought Carti would sound, well, I like that song. I think I'd like to hear Carti on a few more songs that sound like that.
Yeah, I would
personally.
too.
So
I really do like Crush a lot.
Crush is fire.
I really like Crush. Even though it's like really vibey for the first like minute and a half, 2 minutes where we're like, oh, is this going anywhere? I think it's great. And I think that verse that he gives us at the back end is great. And then what's the second joint with Future called?
Charge him hoes a fee?
No, the other one. The one on the back end. Is it Twin Trim?
I think that's the one with Uzi.
Oh, that's right.
Are you sure it's not?
It's not Charge Them Hoes of Fees. It's on the back end.
Oh, Trim.
Yeah, I really love
Trim
Trim
is
with
hard.
Future. I think that one is super gas.
Yeah, both of the Future songs are crazy. To me.
Oh, there's Trim and there's Twin Trim. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool.
Also, I think there were a couple things that I would change. The number one thing I would change is that second Uzi song. I'm sorry, I don't have any of the titles. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The one where Carti doesn't have a verse.
Yes. Carti needs the rap on that. That's one of my favorite instrumentals on the tape. And Uzi went like full retro Uzi, 2016 Uzi vibe. I need Carti on that song.
Yeah, that was a great Uzi verse. I haven't heard that many Uzi verses that have moved me recently either.
It was strange to me that Carti wasn't on that song at all. I know artists do that once in a while, but you know,
It felt like there was a couple of songs across the whole tape that felt like interludes.
mm-hmm.
You know, like just things that like, and that's again why I'm like not mad at the 30 songs, because it felt like he was like, I've created this vibe, I've put together these songs that I think are so great that I want to stand on. I'm gonna just put them out for the people to enjoy, because I know my fans are gonna love this shit. Especially like you get a Uzi verse like that, you have to put it out. I do like, I'm like, loop the beat one more time and like you could give us a 16 or something, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Carti lived up to the hype, which felt almost impossible.
Mhm.
But I think that the overall reception of the project has been very, very positive. I haven't seen too many people hate on it.
I've seen probably a mixed bag, kind of similar to when Whole Lotta Red came out.
Really?
Yeah, I've definitely seen people either be like, "This is the best project I've ever heard," or "Yo, this shit is the worst shit in the world." But there's also just a massive pocket. Like, we're not going to ignore the pocket of people like Joe that just hate Carti and will never like this.
But
music.
that's what I'm saying. That's the only people I've seen hate on it.
Yeah, mostly.
That's
but
the
that's
only-
like a decent portion. Like, this is like a niche in hip hop to me.
This is,
You don't think so?
I think this is what hip hop is now. I think this is the majority. I think most hip hop fans will enjoy this in 2025.
I don't know. I like it, but that's why I wasn't super pissed about the way Joe covered it. Well,
No, that shit is whack as fuck, bro. That shit is, you have to give this the time of day. You have to dissect.
so would
this
you have rather them all listen to it and then just got on and just like shit on it?
For sure. Because then at least offer intelligent opinions while you, a professional rapper, someone who did this at a super high level, doesn't relate to this. That's fine.
I really liked, I mean, I don't think you have to talk about everything. And I don't think there's value in you talking about something you just don't get or don't like. I liked what Park said. He kind of said what I've been saying for a long time about rock music and heavy metal. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like a rock fan doesn't like punk or metal. You know what I mean? It was birthed from rock.
I fuck with it.
But like majority of rock fans aren't going to be able to listen to the best Tool album and be like, oh, this is fire. Because they don't like metal.
But
so
Parks
like,
was the only one who listened to it.
And Parks didn't like it.
Exactly. But he was the only one who listened to it and was able to offer an intelligent opinion about it.
Yeah.
No one else even gave it the time of day. That's what pissed me off.
No, Maz is right.
It's like you can't even press play on the shit. Like, come
you
on.
you have to, if you're gonna be in this space and you're gonna make comments, something even we're trying to get better at. It's like, yo, you gotta watch all the content, you gotta listen to all the music, you have to make an educated and informed opinion on what you're talking about. It doesn't make sense otherwise.
Yeah, you guys are right. You guys are right.
But yeah, I've the only people who I've really seen hate on it are older people. I've seen a lot of R&B fans hate on it. I saw a tweet that my girlfriend sent me was like, "This is boy music." And
Yeah,
I was
for sure.
like, yeah, you're not wrong. But I think there's a couple songs that I think they could fuck with, because I played her. I forced her. I'm not gonna lie. We're hanging out and I forced her to play Evil Jordan because I was like, yo, just listen to like the intro vibes. You know what I mean? Because I think that shit's really cool. It goes into, she didn't hate it, to be honest with you.
You should have played her the Weeknd song, bro.
That's boring. That's easy. You know, the Weeknd song is cool to me.
You don't love it?
I think I would be tripping if I said it's not like a good song.
Yeah.
Like I play that shit, like I fuck with it. But I'm like, I feel like I got so much other more interesting shit that the Weeknd song is like in that second tier of stuff that I'm gonna talk about. Cause it's like the Weeknd song, Philly.
I love Philly.
Charge Them Hoes the Fee is probably at like the top of this list, where it's like these features with Playboi Carti, with be it Cardo, OG Volta, whoever is fucking bodying the production. It's like, this makes sense why it's a good song.
Yeah,
scientifically, you know what I mean?
Did it
like,
just feel safe? Or
Yeah.
like something you had heard before?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. You know, but great songs, excellent songs. Some I think that he did the impossible thing again of living up to what seemed like unrealistic hype, and I think that when this shit gets performed live, if Carti takes the time to really make it the live show that it could be, that could take this album to a whole nother level.
Yeah, I agree.
He does have to, like, we've seen the performances. We know that they've left a little bit to be desired outside of just energy.
Yeah.
Now let's get the visual component there.
Yeah,
Let's do all the other things around the performance to make this, because this is great music.
Yeah, he needs to come out with a bang tonight. Tonight is important.
Yeah.
Show us, like, introduce, because I have problems with the rollout. Show us how this album looks, sounds live, and what your story is going to be for the next like 2 years while you're working this project tonight.
What are you guys? Well, because you both have mentioned, I think, problems with the rollout.
Well, I have takes on the music first too.
Okay.
Before we get into rollout, I think my criticisms of the album are it didn't feel like a finished project to me. To be honest, I think the mastering on it is really bad. As I went back and edited the reaction, I noticed something that I noticed when we were listening to, which are tracks are just at totally different volumes.
Yeah.
Which is not excusable. Get your project mastered. I think the mixing is bad. You mentioned it earlier. I don't think the mixing was bad. I don't like the sequencing. It's way better on shuffle. It doesn't feel like a project that Carti really put his everything into, all the thought, all the intentionality, and like gave us. It more feels like, oh, I'm at the end of the cycle to be able to ship this. Here's what I have so far. It feels very Life of Pablo. You said it feels yay in the chat, and I totally agree with you. This project is going to continue to get updated, and in a couple months, it's probably going to be where it needs to be.
And
but right now, it doesn't feel finished.
And that's why I was saying it feels like mixtape vibes, because especially with the sequencing, it's like, do we really feel like there's a real story being told? Do we really feel like all these songs belong together on the same project? Like you said, and maybe I might not have even heard this, but this may have affected my listening experience. Like, bro, if the songs are all at different volumes too, like, I think the way that you transition from one song to another is very important for me for an album. And sometimes it just felt like that part was neglected.
Yeah.
In the delivery.
I think that from the sequencing standpoint, if you listen to Pop Out and then like someone like did the transition from Pop Out to Evil Jordan and it sounds perfect.
Yeah.
I do think that there was probably some mistakes going on because everything was so last minute. Just with like, I can only imagine turning in a project and doing all the little things you have to do within a 3 to 4 hour span of time.
But he had 5 years.
In the middle of the night. No, I'm saying, but he's not the one who turned it in. He's not the one who submits the track list. He's not the one who submits all the sequencing,
Oh, I see
there
what you're
is
saying.
someone else who had to do this and was probably under extreme pressure.
And Carti's texting you.
Exactly.
Where is it?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, that part should have gone left, but you're 100% right. You had 5 years to do this.
Yeah.
I don't think the album was done until this week.
Yeah.
I think that it was just very, very last minute. And I think once Carti got the songs to a place where he's like, I have all the songs I want to put on this, he told Spotify, he told everyone, let's go full force with the billboards, Of course, this also is at the end of when you can ship everything. So I think that point is fair. I didn't mind the sequencing because, again, I like pretty much every song. The mixing and mastering, yeah, for sure needed to get updated. And it is. And that's happened a billion times with a bunch of different records over the last couple of years. Not to say that that's my favorite thing that happens. I'd love for it to be finished when it comes out. But that stuff, especially if it's not the way that it's going to end up being, I don't really count that against the project. Because it's going to get updated.
It's a small knock for me. It's like overall, I really like this project.
Yeah,
These are just some criticisms.
I think they're fair.
Yeah.
I think they're 100% fair because when you release music that feels like the essence of it took time and effort and was intentional, you can nitpick without it completely having everything else crumble. You know what I mean? And being like, oh, this is a bad project. It's like, no, it just wasn't perfect. And I don't think we expect it to be. It's the fucking 30 songs. Having a perfect 30 songs would have been impossible.
Yeah, and to speak to that point, which you brought up earlier, I agree with you. I don't know. Like, it seems so obvious to me. Maybe this is just what I like, but release an album that's 30 minutes to 50 minutes every 2 years. That just seems like so obvious. Like, you don't need to wait 5 years and give us 30 songs.
But niggas don't want to drop every 2 years.
Why? Well,
you can't make someone do that. You can't have, I think that, again, being a Tyler Creator fan.
Yeah.
And he even
does it perfectly.
Is like, but he's even like, I don't want to do that anymore.
Okay.
And is going to get away from that. I think that's totally fair, bro. Because some niggas just may not be, while they may have these songs, right? Because some of these have been finished for a while. He's had a couple of these cuts forever. The whole concept to the album, the whole vibe of it, the energy, everything may not have just been right at that time. And it's totally okay with me because, again, he gave us the hitters as singles when we really needed them.
Wait, I'm so confused on your take. So are you saying, my bad, I'm literally just trying to get an answer.
Yeah.
You feel like he didn't miss.
No.
But you also feel like it's not perfect, and when you do 30 songs, there's no way it could be perfect.
Not everything is going to be like the mixing and mastering isn't perfect.
Okay, but you're not saying like songs.
I like all the songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
I think he's saying there's no way you're going to be able to tell a concise story like someone like me might like over 30 songs.
Yeah, I don't think this was like going to be a concept album, none of that shit. I think this was a collection of good music.
Okay, and I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I just think we might have been speaking on like an album or a collection of music or a mixtape, whatever, from a different perspective. Like, I'm looking more for sequencing story. You're just like, I like every song.
Because what story did Carti tell with Whole Lotta Red?
I don't know, but it's definitely a whole different world. You know what I will say though? This is a new world, updated sounds, updated production, definitely pushing, continuing to push genre. I will give him that. I think that you can get off, and I think it'll age well. You can get off right now that he has not missed, because this is the 4th project in a row where he continues to push the boundaries of hip hop and what it sounds like and what it looks like and what it feels like.
Well, yeah.
I've got a question. How many worlds has Carti built in his career to you guys?
Maybe
0 to me.
No worlds?
I don't think that's like I don't love that. I don't think that's a requirement for
Well, when I'm
artists.
saying world, I'm saying like vibe, aesthetic, like just energy.
I think with every project he built a new world.
I think
Okay.
he's built.
To be honest.
I think he's built one world, and I think, like you said, when it became part of the aesthetic, I think that was a thing. I think he built a world around Whole Lotta Red.
Yeah. I see two worlds.
Yeah.
I see self-titled into Die-Lit, not two separate worlds, but an evolution of a sound and a vibe. And I see I Am Music as an evolution of Whole Lotta Red. I think they exist in the same
Like,
world.
I think that the strength of Carti as an artist isn't world building. I think that's what a Tyler Creator does great. I think
But don't you want every project to feel different?
they do. That's what I'm saying. I don't count sonic changes and the projects feeling different as world building.
That's what I'm talking about. Because you build a world through the music. It's not just marketing.
I think you build the world through the music and the aesthetic.
Yeah.
I think they go hand in hand because now there's a look and a feel to everything. I don't think Carti necessarily had that to me on this.
Yeah.
This just seems like him doing new vibes and new sounds that other niggas aren't doing.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I think more frequent dropping is important. Like, I think when you have an idea or create a piece of art, you need to do what you can to get that out as quickly as possible. Because ideas come to us when they are ready to be manifested in our world. And if you don't act on an idea, somebody else will. All right,
Rick Rubin. Nobody cares though.
What? Well, not all these sounds sounded new to me, and that's okay. But like,
that's fine. But they all sound like Carti.
Yeah, but
no one else is doing that.
But like, how you become great are you have different like projects that feel completely different. You know what I'm saying? Like when we think about Kanye, it's not just Tyler. You know what I mean?
But
like we have specific different vibes, aesthetics, worlds, energies, sonics, whatever you want to call it, from Graduation to 808s, and then again to Twisted Fantasy, and then again to Pablo.
But with this, is Carti still on the path to greatness?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that, like,
I think it's different approaches.
But I'm
like Future doesn't world build.
No, he doesn't.
You know, but he just drops greatness. I don't think Thug world builds. I think it's a different type of music.
And I think I'm addressing this from the lens of conversations we've had on this podcast, which are if Carti drops another classic, because we call some of his work classic, that he is in conversations with the Kendrick Lamars. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm holding him to the highest standard. I'm not comparing him to Future and Young Thug. No disrespect. I'm comparing him to Kanye, Kendrick, and Tyler.
And you don't think Future's in the conversation with Kanye, Kendrick, and Tyler?
As an overall artist, no.
That's crazy to me. I'm sorry.
I think he's a better rapper, but I'm talking about overall art.
That's crazy to me, bro. Future is art. Future has made art.
Yeah, he has.
Incredible.
He totally has.
Like amazing art.
Yes.
Agreed. And you're saying that he's not on the same level as these people, even if he goes about it in a different way?
As Kanye, no.
Yes.
I'm saying he's not.
Wow.
He's one step below. He's still on tier A, just not tier S.
I put Kanye in a category really as an artist with like Michael and like all of them.
Yeah.
I think that everyone else that you just named is in that step below. And I think the only one that's even pushing to join that is probably Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
Other than Kendrick, I don't even know if Kendrick's fully there. But to say Tyler is all the way there, like I think Tyler and Carti are probably on a similar trajectory right now.
I'm not mad at that.
And I'm not mad at that. Same, like I think they're on the same level too, with different approaches.
We might also be talking about artists versus musicians too.
But that's what I'm saying.
I think there's a slight difference because I feel like everybody you're mentioning and you're calling them an artist, like let's say like Kanye and Tyler, right? Like Ye and Tyler world build, they produce, they fully immerse themselves in everything they do when it comes to the music. Like whatever's going on with the music is what's going on with them and vice versa. I don't know if like a Future does that. I think Carti actually does do that a little bit more. I think we're about to talk about the rollout. I think that, you could argue that Carti doesn't produce whatever, but all his rollouts, whether they are his genius mind working or just mistakes, it all feels like part of the music. Like the music definitely plays into that as well.
Yeah.
So I could put him in that like artist category versus somebody that's just going in the studio and making music. You know what I'm saying? I think that, like a Lil Baby, a Future, who else did we talk about?
Thug, he said Young Thug isn't part of it. I think he's tripping.
Well,
bro.
I think
Thug is an artist, bro.
He is.
No. We gotta put Thug in that category.
And I think separating artist versus musician is even. I think these are all artists. They go about displaying and presenting their art to the world.
But I'm trying to get to the root of what he's really saying. I think that Spencer has a greater point here. I just don't think we're all saying it the right way because I think like. To say that Tyler the Creator is a better artist than Future, I think that's just a crazy statement, and I think it maybe depends on preference.
I 100% agree.
Whether you think that, like, I think that's a personal preference thing. You could definitely say, "Oh, I would listen to Tyler the Creator 100 times more than I would listen to Future." But to say he's a better artist, I just think that is it's
not a fair statement.
Yeah, it's not a fair statement.
Yeah, and that's not really what I meant. That's not because now I'm thinking about it, and Tyler, yes, belongs probably in a step below the Kanyes, and I do put Kendrick in that category as well. And I don't want it to get misconstrued that I don't think Thug and Future are artists. I think they're incredible artists, but I think there is a lot of value in creating pieces of art, and I think they don't always do that.
Okay.
And I think there's more to that than just a collection of great songs.
Okay.
I don't think that makes something a piece of art. I think a lot of the intentionality of why you're making something, it doesn't need to be a concept album, but I do want to hear you say something. You know what I'm saying? I do want to feel moved in one way or another by the art. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that can come from a combination of visual aesthetics, sonics, everything that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I align with you on that because let's be honest, like, and this is difficult for me because I was like involved a little bit like at this point. But when Thug was making Punk, like that to me was supposed to be the high art project that was supposed to elevate everything and go to a new level. And like ultimately, like people didn't receive it well. You know what I mean? I don't think he was able to fully achieve what he was trying to achieve with that project. Is it a good project? Yeah. Are there good songs? For sure.
Yeah.
But like when he tried to like lean into the more like artistic, like maybe more in touch with your emotion sensitive side, like I just don't feel like it worked for him.
But then I'm looking at Jeffrey, and Jeffrey was a whole concept behind it. There was videos leading up to it, him changing his name and everything. That project hit.
It was incredible.
So much fun. That was a fucking great project.
Yeah.
That was, I think, him leaning into it. Obviously not the same length that he did with Punk, but like I think that was him really trying to put together a body of work that was going to get a little more respect, and I think it came across excellent.
And I think you have a good. I mean, I like both projects a lot.
Yeah.
I think you have a good argument with Jeffrey. I don't think you have a good argument with So Much Fun.
I just don't.
When it comes to the conversation that Spencer's talking
Yeah,
about.
because that's why I brought this up, is because I do think that Carti was trending on the path of creating really impactful pieces of art with every release. And I'm listening to I Am Music and trying to figure out if that is this. I'm not saying it's not. I'm trying to separate if this is a really good collection of 30 fire songs, or if this is a moment, a statement, and like a piece of art that I'm going to respect for like years and years.
I think you have to respect it when it's so quality, because niggas can't. We're glossing over the fact that he dropped 30 songs that niggas really fuck with. And even if you don't like all 30, like say you were pointing out 2 that you don't really like.
Yeah.
That's 28. How many
Well, I
people
told you I have 15 added. So there's a lot that I told you the 2 that I don't fuck with at all.
But we're 2 days out.
Yeah, facts.
We're 2 days out.
Facts.
Dog, niggas are not dropping that much good music. That you have to put respect on that. He has his finger on the pulse and understands this moment. I think that's what makes this an art piece. It is the perfect definition of what this 2025 is in music.
And that's why I disagree. Because you said the Thug song was from 2020. You said like there are vibes that I think felt like they were like older.
This is what people want to hear in 2025 though. People want to hear the sound and the subject matter, and everything that Carti did on I Am Music works in 2025 to me.
To you.
Better than anyone else that has dropped a rap album in 2025 and will drop a rap album in 2025. Or in fucking what? 2024 even. Like niggas who, because of course you're right. When you say the older people, the Joe Buttons of the world, the people who don't like Carti aren't going to like Carti. But other than that specific sect of people,
yeah,
everybody I think is going to fuck with this album. I don't know if there's been an artist who has dropped a body of work that has been that universally loved, and I think it's going to reflect in the numbers too when we see first week sales.
I kind of agree with you, but just after listening a few times, I just don't think that every song on this project is what people want to hear in 2025. Like you said, I feel like, yes, there's, again, great songs. I would say a lot of them are great songs, bro. Even Carti himself said 30 songs, 25 hits.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
That was a crazy tweet.
I'll hold that.
What are you doing?
If that's the language, if that's the language you're already approaching this with, then like, what are we really talking about?
I
bro?
hated that tweet.
25 hits.
And this is what my greater point is. I think it's fine to say that this. We could even call it a classic. Fine, maybe it's trending on the way to classic.
I don't think niggas.
I think it's fine to admit that there's some songs on here that are not going to translate.
That's totally fine. 25 hits is not a bad. I don't mind the thing, because 25 hits is not mean that the 5 songs are ass. They're just not trying to be hits.
But like, well, okay, well, we're not even going to pretend like anyone in this world thinks he has 25 hits.
Of course, but I didn't take issue with.
No,
him
I
saying
do,
that.
because you talk about like holding artists to a bar that you work with and
Yes.
saying, okay, if it's not here, we're not putting it out.
Yes.
For the artist on release night to say, yeah, 5 of these were probably throwaways.
No,
That's a crazy.
because you're
that's
now you're
crazy
jumping the
messaging.
gun. He didn't say throwaways. Hits. You could put out a song that's not intended to be a hit at all. But it fits in the purpose of the album.
But I don't think that might have been the language, but that was not the purpose. Nobody thinks that half these songs are hit records. This music is niche. This music is not for everyone, and that's where we differ. I'm in the niche and I fuck with it.
This
but
is not a niche, bro.
Yes, it is.
This is what all young people are trying to hear.
Young men.
Yeah, this is not what all young people are trying
rap
to hear.
fans, young fans of rap music. If you're a young person listening to rap music coming up in 2025, you probably like this sound. That feels fair.
Yeah.
That just feels like this is what the youth is listening to.
I think you like a few songs on the project, but I don't think it's fair to say everybody that is young is gonna like the whole project.
No.
I think that's fair. But I think he's gonna do Rolling Loud. He's gonna blow it out. He's definitely completely maxed out and blown the roof off of this niche. But I don't think it's fair to say that every young person is trying to hear this. I don't think that's a fair statement.
The vast majority of people are trying to hear this, bro. This nigga's not just underground anymore.
No, he's not.
He's not. So what's the niche then? What niche is this?
It's a new sound, bro. This is not like what. Yes, this might be where hip hop is going or is now, but this is not what hip hop has been for the last 25, 30 years.
But in the now,
yeah,
with all the people who are fucking with rap music right now, this is what niggas want to hear.
Fucking with the direction rap music is trending. Because people that like grew up
Carti
like when we
been
did
on this though. Like niggas, if you like the old Carti shit, you're gonna like this.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to say like it is like a little niche.
I think, well, to be honest, for me, your statement may make more sense next week when we see all the numbers come in, because I do think we're just talking right now. I think we haven't seen any proof that any that's the wrong statement. I don't think that we've seen proof that this is going to translate well yet. Because to be honest, yes, again, I like a lot of songs in this project. I think a lot of songs are going to chart, but I don't necessarily feel like even think about a Whole Lot of Red, bro. Like Sky was the standout hit. You know what I'm saying?
Is there any
he may only have one.
Is there any doubt that this music is going to translate with you? Do you really doubt that?
A few songs are going to translate. I'm not going to like the whole project, I don't think.
Here's a question. How many songs do we think he debuts in the top 10? The Billboard Global Top 10?
I think he gets.
Or do we use US? What's the standard?
I think
we use US right now.
How many US top 10s does he debut?
See, I was thinking all the Kendrick songs were gonna at least debut, but probably not. The more I listen to them, maybe not. Maybe just that one. Good credit.
I think Rather Lie,
yeah.
Evil Jordan, and probably just those two.
I think he gets 2.
Yeah, I think those two.
And so Kendrick, 5 months after release, 4 months after release, still has 3. And so you're saying, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say is, yes, this is like the biggest, but it's not really the biggest. It's like a big moment for hip hop, but when you really put it next, we'll see when the numbers come out, because we are just talking. We are just talking.
If Kendrick is the only nigga who could fuck with your shit,
yes, but is that not the bar that we've set for Carti?
That's fire, but I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm cool with him fucking with Kendrick, though.
Yeah.
And him being on the same level and competing and being compared with Kendrick. That's fine. Because those are the people that he needs to be compared
to.
And
that's the lens that I'm looking at this.
And that's totally fine.
And that's why two charting top 10 songs means you're still a step below.
Because he has one less?
I think when GNX came out, it was more than 3. We can go back and check. I could be wrong.
We need facts.
And I do also want to push back the last, because I'm coming off as a hater, but I really love the album. But I do want to push back on some of these narratives, like that 30 really good songs at once is impressive. Over 5 years. That's 6 songs a year. So like just because
Who's dropping that?
Just because 6
Who's
good
dropping
songs a year,
that? Who's dropping 6 good songs a year?
A whole lot of people. Well, I mean, we were talking about Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
He's not dropping 6 a year.
Well, he is, because you got Call Me If You Get Lost and Chromacopia and The Estate Stale.
Didn't he drop? He drops a project every year. That's his thing.
When was last time? Every 2 years.
I'm just saying, if you're saying 30 songs is impressive, 30 songs over 5 years, it's not that.
I'm playing. I don't play Chromacopia like that, and I love Tyler.
Okay,
I'm not going back like that at all.
You're not.
I'm glad we're saying that
at all. Like I fuck with it heavy, but it didn't move me like how this moved me. At all. But that's not, again, we're getting into like opinion.
But do you hear what I'm saying? Like people like Tyler are averaging more songs per year than just because he dropped 30 at once doesn't mean like, oh my God, there's so much good music.
I think putting out one body of work with 30 songs that are majority good, even if you want to say you're like 25 out of 30, I don't think many people are doing that. And I think that is something worth giving him flowers for, because we saw The Weeknd try to do it. We've seen every artist damn near try to do it, and no one has done it successfully, really.
Because it's a bad strategy, because nobody wants to hear that shit.
I agree. I think it's a difficult thing to do. I think you're putting yourself in a position where you're going to have some duds, you're going to have some misses. And the fact that he didn't, and the fact that it was majority enjoyable, I think that's something. I think that says something to the quality of the music. I agree with you, though. I don't think that's the right way to go about it. I don't think many people should learn from it. I don't think this is something to pattern other releases after. But the fact that he was able to put himself in this situation that is more difficult and he still delivered, now we have to put a little bit of respect on his name.
Yeah, it's not impressive to me, because we loved the album, but in the reaction when I'm editing it, we're not talking for the last 10 songs. Yeah. Like you're moving a little bit, but me and Osei are kind of checked out at that point because it's been like an hour and 20, you know?
So you don't like, so you're saying that what?
I'm saying it doesn't play well.
This album has no chance to be viewed as great because of its length.
No, not at all what I'm saying.
Okay.
No, because Whole Lot of Red is viewed as great, and this is better than Whole Lot of Red to me. Just off
Really?
2 days.
Okay.
Off 2 days, yeah, I like this more than Whole Lot of Red.
Because now I'm confused.
I feel like Spencer's point has been very consistent though.
Yeah, I'm just not big upping him for dropping 30 songs and doing pretty good at doing something that is a bad strategy. You know what I mean? I don't think it's I'm not impressed when I go see a 4-hour movie that's like really good the whole way. I'm like, wow, he held my attention for 4 hours.
Wow. Okay.
I would have been more. I think the movie would have been better and probably had more replay value, and I would have been able to do more with my day if it was a 3-hour really good movie. You know what I'm saying?
Don't care about your day. I think that this is just a difference of opinion.
Yeah.
Because to me, when you say the movie example, I'm more impressed.
The longer a movie is,
No. If you make it 4 hours and it's good.
Yeah.
If I walk away saying, wow, that was a 4-hour movie and you kept my attention, now that's a point for you. That is something that I count as like, oh, that was a positive. That's impressive artistically to me. But if that's not your bag, then that's not your bag.
Yeah, not my bag.
That's fair. But again, I don't want that to be misconstrued as me saying 4 hours just to be 4 hours is good.
Yeah.
It's a quality, worthwhile 4 hours, which is why I think that this 30 songs is worth being bigged up because it was a quality 30. But
it was a quality 30. It was a quality 30. I don't think any album should ever be 30 songs again, but it was a quality 30.
Is that just not like that doesn't make sense to me?
Why?
There's no way to make a good 30-song album to you?
Well, let's not use songs. We'll use runtimes. An hour and a half?
There's no way to make a good hour and a half long album to you?
Like not like a perfect hour and a half album. You can make a really good hour and a half album. Carti did it twice.
What is perfect? Okay, so what are we talking about? No album is perfect.
I have some that I think maybe are perfect.
Maybe are perfect. You won't stand on it.
Okay. I think there's some albums that I think are perfect.
Like what? What's a perfect album to you?
Twisted Fantasy.
It doesn't matter. You can
Tip and Butterfly. Happy 10-year anniversary.
What? Is there anything else we want to talk about with Carti?
Did we talk about the rollout at all or no?
No.
But now we've had such a long discussion about it. It's like this whole podcast could be Carti,
Yeah, and I have gripes on the rollout, but I don't want to just keep hating because I love the album. I love the album.
I think that I agree with Spencer. If we're going to hold him to the likes of Kendrick Lamar, which he's already put himself on that level because Kendrick's all over the project multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we cannot be afraid to criticize him because at the end of the day, bro, the way that Carti moves in general, is not the way that an artist that is on the level of Kendrick Lamar is moving. To be honest, I know it's rock. I know it's super punk. I know it's super cool. But let's be real. This guy is on the way to being a superstar. And if you skip steps and you don't do things right, you're going to miss out on that opportunity.
He is a superstar, not on his way to being a superstar. Do you disagree? I'm asking.
He's on his way to being a superstar.
You don't think he's a superstar now? Who are the superstars?
No, because he can't do an arena tour.
Who are the superstars?
He can't do an arena tour.
Who are the superstars? I'm asking. Who are the superstars, if not him?
I feel like we had this conversation. Bad Bunny?
No, in rap.
Kendrick?
And that's it?
Kendrick, Drake, Travis, Kanye West.
You don't think this puts him on the same tier as a Travis Scott?
I literally just said he can't do an arena tour.
Okay. I'm just asking. I'm just making it make sense in my head.
No, because the Carti hype right now is online. Let's be real. He's gonna do Rolling Loud, he's gonna shut it down, whatever. But I really, bro, I think it's real, and I think the sales will prove me wrong.
I know.
I think that will be, bro. You didn't even let me finish. Come on.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, come on, bro. You gonna let me finish?
Don't get all butthurt. We didn't get on here and deep throat Carti.
Yeah. What are you on
right now? That nigga sound butthurt. That nigga don't want to sound butthurt.
What are you on? No.
I know that everything that I'm saying is going to get proven right by the numbers like he just said.
This is what you do on this podcast. You come on this podcast and you say things that you know are going to appeal to the internet. And that is the problem.
No, I don't appeal. I say things that I think
I'm coming here and saying facts. One, you can't be a superstar and if you can't do an arena tour. That to me is a fact.
To you is a fact, yes.
Bro. Actually, we're talking about the rollout. Let's talk about it, bro. In 2024, this dude was supposed to do an Opium tour with him, Lonely, all them.
Yes.
Mysteriously disappeared. Mysteriously got canceled.
Yes.
Nobody talks about that.
Yes.
Bro, there's probably millions of dollars on the line for that deal, and that just goes away. You can just be a superstar and do shit like that, and that just goes away.
Yeah,
that's a
because it can go away when you're a superstar.
To me, that's a stain, bro. If you can only do festivals, you're not a real superstar, bro.
I think he has to go on tour.
Okay, yeah. So I think what's gonna
go on tour.
So I think this is what's gonna help. I think the sales for this are definitely gonna help that argument, and I think he needs to go on tour for sure. But he's going on tour with The Weeknd, so and he's opening up. So what are we really talking about?
The Weeknd.
Can you be a superstar and open up for another artist?
Is SZA a superstar?
She's It's a co-tour,
Is SZA
and they're doing stadiums.
Is SZA a superstar?
All right, first, we're talking about rap because when I said Bad Bunny, you were like, "Oh no, not Bad Bunny. We're doing rap." So
You
no,
just
I don't
said
want
you can't
to.
be an opener.
So now I don't
You
want to
just
talk
said
about
you
SZA.
can't be an
I don't
opener.
want to talk about
Don't
SZA.
do that.
I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about SZA.
Okay.
Second, but if we really, let's get into it. Actually, her and Kendrick are doing a co-headlining stadium tour, which is insane.
It is.
Those are great. Those are Taylor
very
Swift numbers.
impressive.
So that's
It's
a whole
very
different
impressive.
conversation. But do you agree with me? Do you agree with anything I said, or are you just gonna keep being like Carti's a superstar, no proof? Because you haven't said one thing that makes me feel like your argument is valid.
That's fair. I think that Carti's a superstar based off him being the most relevant, most interesting, most boundary pushing rapper out right now. I think that whenever he pops out live, whenever he drops music, it's a frenzy like no one else creates right now. And we've seen that clearly. I think that it's him, Kendrick, Drake, Travis. I think he sounds like he should be in that category of rap superstars. Now, I think that he also, similar to a Tyler the Creator, seems to get boxed in by a lot of people as this different kind of like pariah thing just because he's not fully understood.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a lot of people who actually would enjoy the music that kind of write it off a little bit early. And I think that hurts the conversation that I'm trying to have. But I'm like, I think we're moving past that.
Bro, but you're talking like we're in like 2020 or like even like 2017 when he first emerged. I think it's well accepted that Carti and his sound are mainstream now. Look at all the artists that are popping up.
I don't think the rock shit is mainstream at all. I don't think the sounds like Pop Out, Cocaine Nose, all that. I think his sound was more mainstream. No, it's not. That's not the right way to say it. I think that when Carti first popped out in 2017, it was only supposed to be for the young niggas. It was only supposed to be for the SoundCloud era. I think that it was supposed to be underground and a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he's exceeded that, yet people still kind of view him in that light. And I think that's where our definition of Carti kind of gets fucked up. But I think that, like you said, numbers are going to prove it. And when he does the tour, it's going to prove it. When he does the solo tour, it's going to prove it.
250 over or under first week.
Over.
I think over.
Over?
Yeah.
What do you think?
If that's
I think that's right around where he's going to be.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of a flip of a coin. To be different, I'll go under.
I go 350, 400.
Whoa.
Is what I think.
Crazy numbers.
Is what I think.
400. You know, to be honest, I really can't tell. I wouldn't say 400, but the dude's engagement is crazy. The hype for this project has been 5 years in the making, and I don't know, man. I think if that number floating around was true about what 145 in pre-sales,
I saw 175.
Oh, in vinyl pre-order?
you know that? Yeah, you know what I mean. Like if those things are true, then you know what? I don't know if I'll even be surprised at like a 300, 350, but I don't know if I'm doing all 400. Like I feel like that's a lot.
Okay,
like,
so
I feel those are big numbers.
So let's reset the line after hearing your guys' takes. 350 over or under?
Under.
I mean, there's no way to say even, right? So it's got to be over.
Yeah, take the over. That'll be where we're at.
No, I like our other one.
Meet in the middle, 300.
I like the other one though.
Well,
what's wrong with
I didn't hear about these vinyl numbers.
What's wrong?
I know. But also it's like Carti could have done 600 if he would have had a better rollout. If I'm being honest, if Carti would have had fire merch to drop with the album on time, he could have done Wayne numbers.
The merch dropped today with an extra song. Different day dropped too.
Oh, I didn't even see.
Mm-hmm.
New song?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I actually didn't see that either.
For the that's getting shipped on, like, where's the new song? On streaming? Is it a download of vinyl?
Download on his website.
Okay, that you get.
Oh, he's doing the J. Cole. Huh.
But it'll probably make the album worse.
Because another song.
Another song.
Longer. Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
Bad Carti.
Bad
music.
Carti.
You acting like you like 30-song albums is crazy.
I don't. I literally said I don't think this is what should happen ever. I don't think 30-song albums are ever going to typically turn out good. And because he delivered on it, that's why I'm like, this is impressive. I don't think that that's the norm. I think I've gotten what is the Weeknd's 30 tracks?
Somewhere around there.
I got impressed twice this year with both of those. I think both of those albums beat the odds with this shit and really gave us bodies of work that are great. But fuck it. To each their own. Yeah. They said that he's using AI in this shit, but that can't be confirmed. I don't know about all that shit. They said if they tell me Fine Shit was AI, I'd be so sad.
Yeah,
I love that song.
I love that song too.
I love that song.
It's a great song.
So, like, if the artist is the one manipulating the AI, do you guys still feel kind of way about it?
Yeah.
If they're using it as a tool, and
I just don't want it.
By your definition, right? It was like he didn't write it, and there was a reference track, and he couldn't. Yeah. He couldn't do the reference track himself.
Yeah. Lawson that
to me, that's a bad artist, bro.
You know,
that's like, a bad artist. Like that, you can't be on that. Bro.
I don't want the AI shit. And you had a writer on there. Like then I gotta ask questions.
Also, like, what is Carti? You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, love Carti, but on Fine Shit, what is he really saying, bro?
I don't know.
Why do you need a writer? Yeah,
for Fine Shit, bro. Like that's crazy.
He confirmed has people writing his raps.
I mean, Baby Kobe and Lawson are all over the project in there. They're writers, unless they produce as well. So if they were in the room as producers, maybe. But
I'm not mad at somebody using writers. I'm just kind of like,
and I'm like,
I don't know if Carti needs those.
Well, I'm also more like they could be like co-writes. Like if they're in there and they're hearing shit, and then they come up with a melody, and Carti's like, "Oh, that's fire!" Like
totally.
I don't really care.
I can understand that. I think one thing that we're too critical of in hip hop. Obviously, with the more lyrical stuff makes sense, but music is such a collaborative process. Like it's like
just get the best.
I just think somebody writing, like the idea of somebody writing the lyrics to Fine Shit is funny, but they probably were just in the studio, recorded like a verse, and he added on to it.
I don't care as long as people get credited and get paid for what they do, and I think both of those things happen.
Yep.
So. But we did touch on it a little bit. He's also going to be at Rolling Loud today. I think he's probably the most anticipated performer, but there was a pretty crazy lineup. I mean, the performance of the weekend to me was probably Jello Ball, G3, coming out there with a lean gut.
Yeah.
Which was really funny to me. Because it's like, yo, my nigga, now I'm starting to see why you wasn't in the league. I see why this nigga been smoking backwoods and drinking a lot of whatever.
He had a funny outfit on.
Yeah. He previewed another new song.
People like it.
He might go on a little run, I guess.
I'm genuinely shocked at. I thought we were all laughing together.
No.
Like even with the virality, I thought we were all putting it on moderately ironically. But then we posted that reaction and all the comments are like, look at these three men with not a morsel of talent in their body criticizing a new up-and-coming rapper. Like, I didn't know that people really were like, oh, he's next.
No, they're fans. And I think Rolling Loud proved that to me. I mean, that crowd looked insane. Dude was on the main stage, shirt off, lean gut out. You feel me?
Jorts on.
And they were rocking to it, bro. I can't even be mad at it, bro.
I mean, I think we can come off a little condescending when we talk about a certain style of rap and the people who do enjoy it.
I see.
And I think that that's probably what they felt in that reaction, because I think that this is catered to a very specific situation.
You think that guy, is that how that guy felt that wanted my fade?
There's probably, he's probably like, who the fuck are these dickheads? You know what I mean? I think I'm smart and I really like this song.
Fool on the left makes me so mad. I want his fade so bad. I don't even know
bro,
why.
Hey,
let's go then. Let's go then, bro. You watch the podcast?
That seems like the that seems like the last nigga you want to fight.
Yeah, that's probably actually true.
But yeah, besides him, I saw who else?
Dave Blunt's
big ass, bro. That nigga needs to just not be, on any stage.
See, Rolling Loud LA was just, I mean, I feel like with the lineup is just like, I don't know if it was supposed to be a joke or they're just, I mean, I guess Rolling Loud's always been about the hype. So they're going to do what sells tickets. But I don't know, bro. I don't like that we're big upping Dave Blunt's, to be honest. Because I think his voice, while melodic, I don't know if he's that talented, in my opinion. Like he's got like
melodic.
He's got a nice
very melodic.
He's got a nice voice, but like what, like the content and then just his image. It's just, this is what makes people be like, oh, hip hop is declining. And I hate to be that guy, but like, bro. Blunt's real, where it's just like me just being like, yo, Dave Blunt is the worst rapper ever, and then Miles running a reel where it's like, yo, I love Dave Blunt, so innovative, man. I can't put down the cut.
Why do I have to be the face of the support of Dave Blunt?
Because you like to lean into the internet, you know?
No, I don't. That's what you do. You are the man who. I'm gonna keep on. You trying to hop back in the booth after? Let me not.
You have to.
Let me not. You love the internet. I'll be just saying my own opinions.
This is and Rolling Loud. I don't know how to feel about Rolling Loud because I think it's cool and I like a festival. And if you can sell tickets and get communities in person in a place, that's worth something.
Yeah.
But I do kind of agree with Osei, where when I look at Rolling Loud, I kind of feel like Joe Budden. You know what I mean? Like what is the hip hop I know and love become? What is this clown show? That's kind of what when we talk about Dave Blunts and Jello Ball. I guess we are also talking about the funny viral things on Twitter.
That's what I'm saying.
And I've really only been to 4 hours of a Rolling Loud, so I'm not in any position to critique. Haven't been there. It's just funny from an optic perspective. Because even like in the performances that go viral, like I was watching the Untitled Japan performance, it just pans to the crowd. And I guess it's just kind of what music festivals are now, but it's just everyone just like still like recording. You know what I mean? I'm like, that does not look like a fun festival to be at. And I don't know.
I've never been to Rolling Loud, nor have I been drawn to ever pay for a ticket.
Yeah.
It's not a must go to festival for me, but I do think it has a necessary place in rap right now. One, for evaluation, to be like, this is what we're putting out. This is what the youth is fucking with. This is our next generation of rappers. Is this what we really want to stand on? Are they delivering as performers? All that shit. I also think that you need to create a space like this for the youth to be able to see some of their favorites and all of that. And I think that is very, very important. But, you know, is it not for us? Are we too old for it?
Oh, see, now you're doing the not for us.
Well, I'm asking you, what is
Rolling On for me? No.
But
no, that's hate. That's hate.
Because that's what I'm saying.
I would love to go out.
That's what
I had
I'm
a great
saying.
time with Osei at Rolling Loud last year.
That's what I'm saying. It's
just,
like,
but it's like, you know what we were doing is like walking around, like cracking jokes, having a good time. It's a totally different experience than a Camp Flogna. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, oh my God, get to stage B now. We need great seats for Caliuchis. Or even Ain't No Picnic. Oh my God, rush to stage A so we can get front for Georgia Smith. You know what I mean? Like,
but those are just bigger acts. That feels like that's a bigger festival than Rolling Loud.
But you know what Rolling Loud also does too?
What?
Is like, I think they used to be like very punk. You know what I mean? When X and like Ski Mask and all them were coming up. That's what Rolling Loud was. It was like against the grain, like very anti. And I think that's what they built their brand off of. And now, at least the LA one is very like internet, memey. And then the headliners will really be what brings people in. Because it'll be Carti headlining, A$AP Rocky, and then Peso Pluma, which, by the way, brought hella people out. You feel me? Like, you could, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
who did he bring out? I didn't see anything.
Ty Dolla $ign and Rich the Kid for
the
Carnival.
Mexicans. They were out.
All right. Wait. Peso Pluma did that?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see that. I thought you meant crowd. I meant like demographic. The Mexicans.
Oh, you meant the demo. Were you at that set?
Didn't see it. Just saw the live stream.
Got it.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. Peso Pluma feels random.
I actually like the way that you framed that, because if we look at Rolling Loud more like, oh, I'm buying a ticket to go see Playboi Carti, A$AP Rocky, and Peso Pluma, plus I get to go laugh at Dave Blunts. Like, that way makes me feel better about it. But it's necessary. It's cool. I don't want to actually hate on Rolling Loud. I think it's a really good space.
It's a young nigga festival.
It's a great brand that they built up. I just think that, like, yeah, I mean, you know what? It is for young people. I don't want to say that young people are all on some, like, they love every single act, but I do think, like, putting a Dave Blunts in the lineup makes them laugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
it's a part of the day. It's funny.
If I was there, I would have walked over and watched Dave Blunt sing.
And it's like, you know, it's like the Osama son. It's the fucking, who else do these niggas like, bro? Until Japan, like you said, you know, like this is a good way for them to also get their reps up. I remember like Ian Triplin. the first time we saw him perform was at a Rolling Loud at like the 2:30 slot. You know, like
That's a good way to put it too. It's a good way for young rappers to get real, because people that can't tour will get booked for Rolling Loud. So it is a good way for people to practice
and get in front of your people who are listening to their music, but they're streaming it.
It's a fact.
You know.
Yep.
So I'm not mad at it.
And buy merch.
It's hype.
Huge part of festivals that we don't ever talk about. That brings in a huge, massive chunk of the revenue.
I'd still want to go to Rolling Loud Miami though. I want to see that one, but not LA. Rocky performed though.
Yeah.
On a helicopter.
So I didn't see any of it. So y'all talk about it.
Nothing? You didn't see anything from
I mean, I heard the snippet where he's talking about Kendrick, Drake, and who else? J. Cole. I forgot about Cole.
But you love him so much.
I'm over Rocky. I'm over it.
He's saying you love J. Cole.
Oh, I love Cole? So what? Do you want me to be up in arms?
You be defending him.
Defend him from ASAP.
I wouldn't expect you to
goons?
forget about him. You saying you're over Rocky is kind of crazy.
Over it.
Like, what does over it mean?
What does over it mean? It means that
Because this nigga not supposed to perform?
No. By me saying I'm over it doesn't mean he shouldn't continue to do all the great things that he does. I'm just at the point where I'm like not really that excited for the album anymore. It's like when it comes. I'm going to listen to it. And I think with that state of mind, I'll probably enjoy it more. Because I do historically love A$AP Rocky music. So I'm just kind of like tuned out. To me, he's inactive. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to really play the game with him. You know, it's been since 2018.
Mm-hmm.
It's Frank Ocean at this point. Like, I'm not sitting here like, oh, I hope Frank Ocean drops this year. I'm like, when he drops, I'm probably going to love it. But until then, I'm just going to rock out with Daniel Caesar.
Like Frank Ocean, Rihanna, Rocky, Carti, even Kendrick to an extent. Listen, I'm saying like all these different people who have taken these really long gaps between dropping projects. I'm starting to just get more okay with it. And I'm not like counting it against them. And so like, I'm going to check for an A$AP Rocky performance. I'm not going to check for the A$AP Rocky snippet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
You know?
And that's why I'd feel better about it if it wasn't like this like 2-year-long rollout. Like if he would have never mentioned Don't Be Dumb and he would have never like dropped singles or snippets or none of that, it would be a different conversation. I think that's just what's surrounding him because that's what he's putting out into the ether. And so I don't like to have that conversation.
Yeah, I don't think the conversation needs to be about Don't Be Dumb. I think what's more interesting is like, wow, Rocky is a great performer.
Yeah, did the set look fire?
It looked insane. And
Yeah.
he comes in on a fucking helicopter and is rapping on a helicopter over the crowd.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
And the shit sounded fire. He brought out Skepta to do Praise the Lord, and
Tight.
you realize that he has hits. Like, I'm not mad at it.
I didn't realize he was such a great performer. Even though it's funny, he's been on Rolling Loud before, like several times. I guess I haven't paid attention. But I just don't understand why we're still sending shots, bro. I know he's a rapper. I know he's got to do that. But like he said, Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick, like I'm not, what was the line? That he's not worried about them?
It was some weak ass line.
I'm
too.
like, bro, they definitely not worried about you, bro. Like, and you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, I think one thing for me with Rocky that's been a little bit troubling is I feel like he keeps inserting himself in other people's shit, to be honest. And I feel like
What
it's
was
a
the other
distraction.
instance?
Well, actually, it was really just the Drake Kendrick thing. Just him being on the Future song and saying like, y'all should have put me on the first one. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, bro, like, I think Rocky's winning in life.
Yeah.
He is a free man. He's got Rihanna. He's got beautiful children. Fashion icon. Musical icon. You feel me? I don't know. I just feel like at this point, perform at Rolling Loud. Don't send shots.
Yeah.
Drop new music when it's ready. Don't promise it if it's not. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think that Rocky to me has gotten a little corny.
I 100% agree with the music thing. Like, don't tease it or talk about it if it's not coming out. I think that the thing that we talked about with the trial definitely affected the music. For
Yeah,
sure,
I forgot
and
about that.
Definitely delayed it.
I want to walk that back because I forgot he was literally fighting for his freedom.
So I'm like, the only thing that he really did wrong to me is like, yeah, I think the Drake, Kendrick, Cole line was corny. Like, we don't need to talk about that. But other than that, I'm cool with everything else where Rocky's at. just fucking drop the tape or the album or whatever when it's ready. But do your performances, and when you do them, make sure to put your full effort into it, which I think he did. I think that Rocky, from his perspective, probably feels mad disrespect.
Yeah.
Niggas have been talking crazy about him recently.
For sure.
Like, he's not who he is. So, like, if you're in his position, I'm sure you feel a certain... niggas gotta see you and put some respect on your name.
Yeah,
I don't really know how to say that, and I don't know how he executes that, but I know he probably feels the type of way.
So to me, I can't think of like all the examples you're talking about, but the first thing that pops into my mind is Family Matters. The way that Drake bodied everybody on that track besides Kendrick. He really didn't have that much to say about Kendrick. He really didn't have that much content. That's why it was a weak song to me. But that middle part where he talks about the
weak song?
Yeah.
Family Matters, weak song?
Family Matters is hard. That shit is fire.
Okay, continue your point though.
Correction, weak diss track.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, yeah, cool. Also, too many beat switches, but anyway.
Jose hates a beat switch.
3 beat switches in one song. I guess 2, technically. It's too much. Anyway, what I feel about what Drake had to say about Rocky in Family Matters is pretty scathing, bro. It's pretty scathing. He basically said, yo, don't ever come for me again. You talked about my baby moms, but like, what are we really talking about? I was with yours. You're a fashion model. You don't rap anymore. And that to me, bro, like everything Rocky's talking about, like he hasn't had answers for that. So I'm like, if you're gonna come out on the stage doing all this stuff, like make a diss track. Say something to that holds that kind of weight, bro. Don't just keep saying things.
I mean, his line for Drake that I heard was, first you took my flow, then I took your bitch. Or something like that.
Okay, but Drake already had an answer to that.
My thing is like, that's why I think Rocky never has to respond to Drake again. Because you know the love of Drake's life is Rihanna. The girl he wants to be with is Rihanna. You have 2 kids with her, happy. She ain't never looked happier in her life. Like, she not even think about music.
But we're not talking about how Rocky doesn't have to do anything. We're talking about how Rocky constantly keeps inserting himself into that specific
Well, that nigga
part.
called him out. The nigga dropped bars on him, right?
Okay, but you're saying he never has to answer, but he keeps answering. But he keeps
I
half
agree with
stepping
you.
it.
I agree with you. But I don't think Drake could body. I think what I should have said is Drake could never body Rocky. No matter what Drake says to Rocky, it will always fall a little bit flat because he does have that trump card, to me. That's why I'm like, he already won in that dispute.
I see what you're saying, but like he doesn't win in like a lyrical rap battle. You feel me?
But in life,
he's improving that.
But
to
in
me.
life, you know, you don't really got to talk about Drake no more. It does you no good. It does you no positive to ever speak on Drake.
I'm here to talk about the music, man.
Okay, from a musical standpoint, bro. What did Drake do to really body him?
Body Rocky?
Yeah, lyrically. If we're talking about the music,
you don't think the 3 things I said were important? Those aren't important things. He said that, all right, you're talking about my baby moms, you had her, whatever, but I was publicly dating Rihanna for years, so what are we talking about? Like, That's your baby moms.
And then his response...
Then he said, bro, you're too scared to drop because they know it's going to be mid again. You might as well have another kid again.
You know, like, what are we doing?
She don't think, but she want to be thin again.
Oh my God, bro. How is that not? Bro, he's a rapper. Bro, A$AP Rocky's a rapper, bro.
Yo, make it.
Bro, he's a rapper.
It's gonna hit harder if you yell. It's gonna hit harder if you yell.
He's a rapper, bro.
Wait, what is he, bro?
Like, what are you saying? Like, what do you?
I'm asking you what you're. I'm saying
he didn't even answer that.
And
then he's going in a helicopter talking about, I'm not worried about those guys. Bro, you are, bro. You're like,
he goes on the helicopter saying
that's damn near obsessed with them.
He
bro.
goes, no.
Yes,
so
bro.
Drake,
yes.
so the 2 things that you just said is, one, you're talking about my baby mama, but I was dating your wife in public. And then the second one was, you're afraid to drop because it's gonna be mid again.
Yes.
And then I think that he responds to that by saying, 1, I'm not worried about these niggas. And 2, you already tried to take my flow, so I took your girl who you're clearly obsessed with and still rapping about 10 to 15 years after your public relationship, when you have gotten on stage and tried to get at Rihanna and she's rejected you in the public eye. And she's rejected every nigga because she was the apple of everybody's eye for a little minute there. She loves Rocky and is with Rocky and has kids with Rocky. That is his trump card to body Drake. He talked about that in the music.
But yeah, in one line. And what flow did Drake take from Rocky? So there's no, that's not real. Then.
He just claimed it. He rapped it though. He said it.
You know what? You're right.
Appreciate you.
You're right. You're right because you literally like, bro. Come on, like that's not a real argument. What are you saying?
I'm saying that he responded.
You said he responded, and then when I asked what the response was, you're like,
I told you what he said.
I don't know.
I said
what flow did he take, bro? You don't even have an answer. You're
I'm
just
arguing
arguing
what he said.
You're just arguing to argue.
I'm just saying what he said. Rocky did respond to Drake, address Drake in a rap song, which is what you were asking for him to do when you were pounding on the table saying Rocky is a rapper. Rocky is a rapper. And he rapped about Drake.
Yeah, and
then responded to Drake.
And that song didn't even drop.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Don't be dumb.
It does matter.
It's gonna drop,
bro. It does. When is it gonna drop? What is Rocky's release date?
Next month. Don't be dumb. Next month, coming soon. Tap into it.
I didn't like the bar.
I didn't like the bar either. To be fair,
it kind of felt like Ray Vaughn shooting Joey Badass.
Yeah, like. Well, actually, no. I thought that was cool.
But so does Rocky not have to say something?
No, he doesn't. I think what Ray Vaughn did is cool because he's like
he's not as big as Joey Badass.
Not up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, yeah, you shoot at the Giants. You know what I mean? Even though Joey's not.
That's what I'm saying. He's not a giant.
But he to compare to Ray Vaughn, yeah. But like Rocky can't do the same look because Rocky never wants to come off as not up. You know what I'm saying? So you shouldn't be reaching up.
He shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
He should. So, but that's what I'm saying. If Rocky didn't say anything to Drake, if he didn't rap back to Drake in any of the shit, would you feel better about it?
Yeah, I think that's what you do. I think going back,
was he not saying that Rocky had to respond 30 seconds ago? I swear to God, he was saying that. Or am I tripping?
I was probably working on the cameras.
No. That's not what I said.
Okay.
I said, why is he responding saying he's not worried about those guys when he clearly is? I'm like, bro, you keep mentioning them, but it's really just like, it almost feels like a sneak diss. It's like, all right, you guys, you're going to keep putting their names out there. You're going to keep elongating this beef. It's a crazy sentence.
Elongated beef.
You ever elongated your beef?
But you know, yeah. But you don't put, you do these festivals, you put in the music, but you don't drop. Like, I think it's all corny.
Wait.
Bro. And I really, what?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Finish your point.
I don't know.
He don't have one.
I wanted the
wait,
transition.
No transition.
Speaking of elongated meat.
No.
Frank Ocean dropped a new snippet.
No. I'm gonna finish my sentence.
My bad.
I'm gonna finish my sentence. Yeah, bro. I just think it's corny. And I think that you know it's corny, which is why I'm personally upset with you, bro. Why are you taking that side?
I don't give a fuck.
I don't care about if you don't care, then that's okay.
Like, I don't care about if you don't niggas little rap beef, bro.
If you don't care and you're just talking from a point of not caring, then that's fine. Then I understand what you're saying. You're just trying to continue the conversation.
I don't think Drake is corny. I
think you know that those moves are inherently corny.
No, you can't make me think a move is corny, bro. I just don't care. If he wants to say that about Drake, he can say that about Drake. I don't give a fuck. Just make sure the performances fly. If you're gonna say it, if you're gonna drop weak bars about Drake, at least do it on a helicopter and make it look cool.
A fly performance.
One
could say.
You know, that's all I care about.
That was the wrong button again. The sound effects will never be what I intend them to be because I can't remember where any of them are. I was going for the crickets. Oh, that's not that one either.
Well, like you said, Frank Ocean did drop a snippet.
Yeah, he did.
His boyfriend thing, UFC.
Definitely tied to you in that way. However, I'm not looking for his music because I already know what it is. You know what I mean? I think he's kind of established with us fans that like he's not going to be consistent. He's not going to be that number one spot. He's not even trying to be that. He's trying to live a peaceful life. He's trying to bike around New York. He's trying to make video montages with his boyfriend. So it's like that. I mean, like I'm not looking. I like the snippet. Did I think it was that crazy? Not really. I would like a full body work, but until that moment, I wasn't even thinking about it. Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm cool off Frank Ocean for right now because I do feel strongly about him and his music and the fact that like he's already been on some like, yeah, bro, I'm not doing all that. I'm like, all right, okay, I'm gonna move over here. Like Spencer said, we're rocking up with Daniel Caesar. You feel me?
Yep.
So that's how I feel.
New Giveon on the way. I heard.
Facts.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think Frank has communicated exactly what he is to us. And that's why I have a different perspective when I'm talking about Frank and I'm talking about Carti. When we're talking about Carti being like the guy in hip hop, the rap superstar. You said, fuck the big three. It's just Carti. You know, like, if you're going to be that, you can't be this. If you know what I'm saying. I agree with you where I don't think Frank Ocean is at all trying to be the biggest name in music, the biggest name in R&B, the biggest name in pop, the biggest star. I think he's trying to make great art and live his life. And I think that's been communicated since I've become a fan. So I think my expectations have been set at a reasonable level, you know?
Who do you think has communicated that they're trying to be? The only people that I've really heard come out and say I want to be the best are those big three that we always talk about: Drake, Kendrick, Cole.
That's fair. So maybe it's unfair expectations that I'm putting on Carti, but I think those do come from our conversations as well.
I think those unfair expectations. I think most people have these expectations, myself included, of all artists. And I think that someone like Frank Ocean, again, Rihanna, when I was naming all those people who haven't dropped or have really big gaps in between their drops, I think that they're forcing us to have a more realistic perspective on artistry and what it is and inspiration and when you want to put stuff out and all that stuff. Like, we as fans are constantly wanting new music and new worlds to be built, and we get spoiled by the Futures, the Thugs, the Tyler, the Creators of the world, you know, even Kanye to an extent. Those are people who maybe just feel more artistically inspired more consistently and want to put out music more often. But I think we should treat more artists like how we treat Frank Ocean, because I agree. I don't be thinking about Frank Ocean music until he drop a snippet. Until he says something or gets us hyped, like that shit does not even cross my mind. I've accepted that Frank is going to do what Frank wants to do on his own timing. And I think a lot of artists should be afforded that luxury. I think even like Solange is someone who's kind of treated like that. To where it's like, niggas don't even be talking about Solange till she drops, and when she does, it's Grammy nominated and everyone's listening to it and all the shit.
I do think that while it might be unfair, I think rap is treated differently than all other kinds of music. And I think that maybe comes from some of the greats at the inception of the genre. And well, not the inception, but the late 90s, when the genre really became what I think we know it is, setting the standard of being able to drop a project every year or every 2 years. I think you look at the other genres and there's not really this expectation. And so that's why we don't really think that much about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that it's not just Frank. You know what I mean? You look at other still active greats. We look at a SZA, and she's not treated the same way. You know, you look at a Radiohead, they're not treated the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think there's this expectation outside of hip hop to drop so consistently.
Should we change?
Yeah, if we want better work, yeah, we should. We should.
Is our mentality that we're kind of putting on these artists causing them to put out more bullshit? Is that why we look at the next up and coming generation of rappers at Rolling Loud and maybe start to ask questions?
Probably, but it's twofold. It's us, and it's also you need to be able to create art that lives for 6 years. If you're gonna give the gaps, the music itself needs to get to that standard.
Yes, 100%.
So, but I agree. I don't think it's fair the way that we like hold rappers.
I don't think it's fair, but I think a lot of rappers specifically, like rap artists specifically, do come out very like with a lot of bravado. And a lot of like, I want to be the best. I think Carti is still on that. I mean, he literally said he's the Travis Scott of Atlanta after this. You know what I mean? Like, he's already trying to, and he compares and takes influence from a lot of great artists. Like, I think that he.
But has he come out and said, I want to be like #1 rapper ever?
To be honest, I don't know about that specific statement, but to me, when he did say that stuff about Travis Scott, that to me was like, oh, okay, he wants to be at that next level.
But you could be the Travis Scott of Atlanta without dropping every year.
Wait, sorry, what? I was just more talking about being the #1 spot.
I think that him saying he wants to be the Travis Scott of Atlanta is not the equivalent of him saying or having to move like he wants to be the biggest ever. You know what I mean? Like he could become the Travis Scott of Atlanta just by doing what he did and dropping crazy music and selling out shows and doing all the performance shit.
Okay, like, I feel like this might be semantics. I'm gonna go back to Frank Ocean real quick. I was like, I don't know if I want all this, you know?
Oh my God, the wealth is a great point.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm thinking about it. If I got $10 million tomorrow, y'all would need to adjust your expectations of me. Because I'm not somebody that has this desire for endless wealth. 10 mil is plenty for me. I might move. I might go to an island somewhere, buy a house. You know what I'm saying? To be completely honest. And I think I'm not alone. There are definitely people that desire to be the best, desire greatness, legacy, all that stuff. But there are also people like me and what I think Frank Ocean might be. That if you have the means to live your happiest life, I'm not going to keep pushing for something that doesn't necessarily fulfill me.
Well, that's where I disagree.
Okay.
I think that with a Frank Ocean, similar to a Rihanna, similar to an Andre 3000, it's not getting to a point where this stuff doesn't fulfill me. It's I care about this so much. Like Frank Ocean is always making music. He's always in the studio. It's not like he's not recording.
Yeah.
He also just knows the level of quality that he has to hit on if he wants to pay respect to his own art and his own abilities. And he knows that he also has to have something to say, I think.
Yeah.
And he maybe isn't inspired right now. So I think that someone like Frank Ocean, when he gets this money and gets up, I don't think that is what pulls him away from the art. I think maybe he's just not creatively inspired. Maybe he doesn't have a project that is at the level that needs to come out yet. You know what I mean? But I think he is still motivated by music and wants to continue to make art. Does that kind of make sense or not?
It does, and I kind of agree with you. But I think somebody that is able to say, "Oh, I'm not inspired this year. I'm gonna go fuck off and live my life and try to get inspired." I think we're kind of saying the same thing. I don't think he's doing that. I don't think Frank Ocean is grinding.
But I think he's always recording.
But I don't think he's grinding. Like he wants to be the greatest ever. Like he wants to be Michael Jackson.
I don't think he's ever grinded.
I agree. It's a different kind of mentality.
Yeah. I think that Frank has always just made music, and when he feels like I'm in a great creative flow and this music is turning into something, I'll put it out. But if it's not, but I don't think that means that he's stepping away from like the booth. Like I think he still is doing that. I assume he probably takes his equipment with him everywhere.
I think we could have gotten a Frank Ocean project by now if he wanted to. If he wanted to get with other incredible collaborators and work with other people more and maybe not necessarily be creatively inspired, but really dig deep and find something to say, I think we could have gotten a project. Do I think it's going to be of the same quality as the one we're going to get with him, just honestly waiting until the moment hits him?
Yeah.
No, that's the way that you make the best art.
Exactly.
But I don't think that somebody that wants to be the greatest is necessarily always just concerned with that. I do think they're a little more concerned with making sure that they're relevant and make it like you look at Michael. You know what I'm saying? Like that gap, the gaps between those 3 albums was not 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that run that he went on was over the course of what, like 6-7 years?
But he was
3
also
albums?
making different types of music. Like Frank Ocean's music is very emotional. And it feels also very personal.
Yeah.
I don't think Mike was making that type of music so he could put out more stuff.
That's fair.
You know, and I think his creative process was probably much more, I could walk in the studio, get with a producer, as opposed to Frank's probably like, I'm probably handwriting everything, doing a lot of the production myself as well. Like it's a whole different thing.
I don't think we should pretend like your process can't be changed and you can't work to develop new habits when it comes to creating art. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think his willingness to just slip into this process of what we're talking about is a choice. And it might be the choice that leads to the best music.
Well, because Frank's also, he was a songwriter before this.
Yeah.
So I don't think I don't think Frank ever really has moved like an artist. Yeah. I do think he kind of stumbled into this. And I think this has kind of always been his process when it comes to his stuff. Mm-hmm. But you're all right. Like he could probably just shit out 15 great songs that we think are great if he wanted to. Yeah. But he doesn't need to at this point because, again, money, all the stuff he's taken care of.
That's what I'm saying.
He doesn't need to just put out whatever. So,
I don't think we even touched on your point enough, Spencer. Like, I would like to think that if I got 10 mil tomorrow, that I would just reinvest in myself and like elevate everything I'm doing along with my living situation and my family members. But shit, I don't have that. So if I did have it and all of a sudden I could go anywhere and do anything and not necessarily be tied to like a job, a salary, all this different type of stuff, I do wonder how that might change my outlook on life. I think they say money changes people. I think it wouldn't change me. I think it might change the way that I look at what my purpose is almost. Yeah. Because then I would have time to really even think about it, you know?
But that's why, like, to me, it's like you should do everything you want to do regardless of money. Mm-hmm. Like, money shouldn't be the reason why you in the field every day doing what you want to do. Like, I think that that's a big thing that a lot of successful NBA players say. Kobe Bryant got to the league and he was like, oh, this shit is easy because mad niggas stop giving a fuck. Bunch of niggas get a check and they don't want to go as hard. They don't want to work every day. Fuck the money. I love basketball. Yeah. So I want to do this every day. I want to show up every day. I fell in love with the grind from a basketball player's perspective. You know what I mean? For me, it's like if I got $10 million, I'd still wake up with the same aspirations and goals that I have today because I enjoy what I'm building. Yeah. You know? And like, I think that that's just what fulfills me and will bring me overall happiness. Obviously, I think the pressure would be a little different. Yeah. And all of that stuff. And I might be able to rejigger my schedule a little bit. Like I'd go about, the process would change. Yeah. Drastically.
But I'll give you an example though. Like I even told y'all, I mean, I'm in Los Angeles right now because of a job that I moved here for.
Yes.
Sure, career motivated, music motivated, but ultimately money motivated. I saw dollar signs and I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
LA it is. Why
City
not?
of Angels.
City of Angels. Why not? I've heard a lot about it. Don't know many people out there. Let me just go check it out. And I do feel like that anchors me here. If I had $10 million, I might even rethink that whole thing. Like, why do I have to be here? You know, what's really tying me? And I guess ultimately what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that I would up and leave necessarily. But I'm saying $10 million is $10 million. It changes your perspective on life. I could go buy a house somewhere else for much cheaper. You feel me? So those are the thoughts. And I agree with your point ultimately. I think everything that I'm doing is stuff that I would do if I was super rich. I just don't. It'd be interesting to see what pressures were alleviated and how I would really shift it, you know, if I had that opportunity. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that the core of what you're saying is what really is the focus is, do you want to be the best or not? Not do you want to do this or not? You know? Because you could drop a podcast, say you're just keeping it to our situation. Say there's no pressure. We could drop a pod once a month. Yeah. And we're probably not going to grow or do anything, but you could still technically be creatively satisfied. Yeah. And do all this shit. But if you want to become one of the better podcasts and move up the ranks and do all this shit, then you have to keep every single week pounding the pavement, showing up all the time,
Well, I would definitely first, and that's why I talked about investing. I'd be like, yo, we need better equipment, bro. Let me get the most HD camera ever. You know what I'm saying? These mics are fire, but you know, there's probably more fire mics, more fire headphones. Like I would definitely, studio. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the things I'm thinking about when it comes to investing.
Tomorrow, 10 million tomorrow. I'm up in. I'm not working. I'm probably rethinking my job, and then upping the days that we film.
But that's what I'm saying. Money would free up time and create opportunity to like refocus, like really think about what you care about and refocus everything.
Yeah.
You know, like learning Spanish is something that I feel like I've been trying to commit to my whole life. What if I had $10 million tomorrow and didn't have to think about working? I'd probably go to Puerto Rico for like a month or two and just, you know what I'm saying? Just like really grind it out, really try, really go live with my family that lives out in the country and where they don't speak English and really just try. You feel me? And I know there's other ways to do things like that, but honestly, in the pursuit of money, you get so busy and so caught up. It's like you don't even have time for some of those things, you know? And I'm not saying that, I'm not talking about that example specifically. I'm just bringing up an example of something.
But then that also begs what I've realized recently too, is that when you don't have the luxury of money or the luxury of unlimited time and resource or everything, you're forced to prioritize. And you have to really look inward and be like, what is important to me and how much do I value it? You know? Because it's like, if you really care about something, you'll get it done. You'll make time for it. You'll figure it out. But because we're focused on the day-to-day of life and there's so many little things that pulling us in opposite directions, not to say that something isn't important to you, but it's where does it rank? Does that make sense a little bit? You know, like it's like
it does.
Yeah. So I don't love that we have to deal with that, but it does make me realize when I look inward, when I'm journaling, when I'm doing my shit at the end of the day, okay, what really is important to Miles and how I want to live my life and how can I lean more into those things specifically?
I mean, it's unfortunate too, though, because I feel like you fall into habits that way, right? Like, I feel like I might be prioritizing things that aren't necessarily like super important to me, but it just like temporary, like comfort, access, success.
Yes.
Like money is a priority to me right now because I know what it can get me. You know what I mean? But I don't really care about money like that. You know what I mean?
I would never say money's a priority for me.
Right. But I know that money can help me ride in these Uber Blacks. You know what I mean?
Shut up.
Money can help me, you know, I don't know, like buy some new clothes, some new drip.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that doing what we love also, I don't know. I feel like me and you are different, but I feel like we are similar in the fact that we're not necessarily all the way motivated by money and we go about it by different ways. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I really like, because I think on a surface level, a lot of people would look at me and think, oh, I'm motivated by money and I'm motivated by profit. I want to be able to do whatever the fuck I want. Mm-hmm. And I think to do that, you obviously have to grind, work hard, But I wasn't going to do that by being an accountant or working in tech, which would make me more money. I want to do it through doing something that I love. So I'm going to grind really hard to get good at that and really, really lean into those things as opposed to just like being unhappy to get bread and get a check. And that's how I hope that you end up eventually where Frank Ocean is, to where you work hard 10 years into your career. Now you can just do whatever you want. Yeah. You could do creatively whatever you want. You could make whatever you want. You could move into fashion. You can move into fucking music. You don't even have to make all the music yourself. You could write for other people. You could produce for other people. That is what the end goal of all of this looks like for me a little bit. And then through doing it, I've fallen more in love with podcasting to the point where like, I don't think I would want to ever take a week off. If it's up to me. You know, especially when there's no pressure and we're up. Like I genuinely love sitting down and just chopping shit with you guys.
I do too.
You know, that's where I'm at on it a little bit.
I do too. I think that money is a thing. And so right now you're only, when you're thinking about what you want to spend your time doing, it has to be something that builds towards that. And that's different than if you got $10 million tomorrow. You know what I mean? Because I do love doing this. And I know I could probably get to my financial goals faster if I would have taken a different route, but I don't regret it at all. Because this is, out of the choices I have, easily the most fire to me.
Yes.
I don't have the choice to go paint all day.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a talented painter.
Yeah.
I don't have the choice to go to the NBA. I don't have the build. You know what I mean? This is something that plays to my strengths that I really do love to do.
Yes.
So I do it. And I'm so excited about the future and building something.
Yeah.
If I had $10 million tomorrow, it'd be hard for me to say, well, we can have this exact same conversation, but just we don't need to turn the cameras on. We can make time to do this. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know exactly how I feel because part of me
something
thinks
to say.
I do.
You know, and I think that's where it also comes in a little bit of selfishness and arrogance.
Mm-hmm.
I would be lying if I said that I don't internally believe that I have something to say that will positively impact the world.
Yeah, I'd keep podcasting if I had $10 million tomorrow. Because really my only gripes with this are how it competes with doing things that I feel like I need to do to survive.
Yes.
If I could spend my day every day doing the things I really want to spend doing, running, meditating, cooking, reading, learning, that kind of shit, and then just come in here and chat with y'all at night, yeah, I would keep doing this 100%.
That shit light.
I don't need to go move to Hawaii. I could buy a nice Malibu house.
This nigga talking about learning. You like to learn?
I love to learn. I told you I had a serious conversation with my mom about going back to school because every morning I read a history of philosophy textbook and I write about it, and I just really love learning. You know what I mean? And I always was somebody that loved school.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had serious conversations. I'm like, Mom, I wonder if I would feel more fulfilled if I could spend more time learning.
Wow. Do you see how we actually got into the last topic?
Yeah, I do.
Is that kind of what we just talked about? Like,
Yeah,
there was great.
I tried to do that. That was not an accident.
Wow.
Hey,
yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to think, but just to answer that question, just because I do want a firm answer on that. Would you rather be happy or great, both of you?
Happy.
I don't give not one fuck if people remember me after I die. I don't give not one fuck about legacy, to be honest. I don't really care about people. If I know I'm good and I'm living my best life, I don't really care how anyone else sees me and views me. Because I'll know I'm great at being Spencer every day. And I can be great at that. I can run further. You know what I'm saying? I can cook better. I can podcast better. I don't care about anyone else thinking I'm great besides myself.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to be great. But I think that I'm working on learning happiness. And I think that as I continue to become more happy, I think that my perspective on that might change. But I do think that there is something to be said for, is there a greater impact we can have outside of ourselves and our immediate people? And how could we go out and impact society? Because I'm sure Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all of these people sacrifice some happiness for a greater good of society. Not to say that we're the same.
This is Mr. I don't vote because I can only worry about myself.
Not to say that
this is a totally different tone.
Bro, because the best thing that I could do for my community and my people is get some money. Do you disagree? Yes or no?
No.
My boy really said Malcolm X.
Nigga, me fucking voting versus me getting money is gonna be completely different impacts on society.
I see.
Didn't Martin Luther King fight for our right to vote?
No, I think we had to vote already. No? I don't know. I think we already had the voting rights.
Did we?
I think 3/5 was pre-Martin.
That was Emancipation Proclamation. That was 3/5.
Yeah, but I'm saying that whole conversation happened after
segregation. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's really bad.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yo. You don't think I'm gonna change the world, bro?
Whoa, when do we get to that?
You
See, how you gonna twist my words like that, bro? I think you're gonna change the world. I just thought that those were funny examples, but I feel where you're coming from. And one thing I do admire about you, because at first I thought you were just, bullshitting. But I do feel like you want to use your platform to help people make an impact. I think a lot of people say that, and I'm just like, bro, you just want to make money and then look like you're trying to help people.
Yeah.
And I projected that on you. But I feel like you actually genuinely do care about trying to help people.
I just want to help niggas not deal with what I dealt with. I think that is the main thing. You know what I mean? Like, just let other young, and I think let other young black people know that it's possible to do this shit. I think that is a very important thing to me. And that is not the biggest worldwide impact, but I do think that that is an important thing. And I would sacrifice my own personal happiness to affect the community in that way. I think. A 24-year-old Miles who don't have no money and no idea what I'm going to do when I get it.
It's very noble, though. It's very noble. Yeah, I'd like to think that about myself, but I don't. I think I have been so personally impacted by random people in my day to day that I'm kind of more like, yeah, everyone I see, I'll impact. But I don't know if I need to impact anyone.
But if you're on a remote island,
I'll impact all 27 other remote island guests. Everyone in my commune will be so much better because of me.
Okay, are we gonna go to pimp or do we end with
I just want to say, because I felt so crazy saying that thing about Martin Luther King, but he did fight for the Voting Rights Act, which abolished basically that you had to take literacy tests and shit. So
there you go.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I'm wilding. But
good little research.
Thank you for proving me right.
Use your vote. vote to all three angles. Do it. What are we doing? Pimp or Death of Masculinity?
I don't really have a lot to say about 10 Years to Pimp Butterfly. I think I've talked about that album so much on this platform. Do you guys want to dive into another To Pimp conversation?
Happy birthday. Good album. Listen to it.
It's the best album ever recorded.
Black people are important.
I'm not mad at that.
This guy.
That's a good take.
It's not a bad take. That's a good hot take. That's a great hot take. Okay, so then let me connect to this road.
Well, I guess we'll go real quick because I was the one that wanted to breeze past it, but now it feels disrespectful. Favorite song? Or maybe give me like a personal pick. It doesn't need to be your favorite or what you think is the best, but just one song you want to shout out.
Because you know Osei posted for it. So what's one you threw up on it?
That's the one. That's my personal favorite.
Which one?
You Ain't Gotta Lie.
That's a good great song. That's
my personal favorite.
I think How Much a Dollar Cost has always really touched me. But that's one that's really important to me.
Right.
I will go recently. The one that I've been fucking with is Institutionalized. I like that one. Okay.
He likes it.
Huh?
He likes it.
You know, I'm going to play this clip now from...
Do you want to intro us a little bit?
The Black Captain America, aka Anthony Mackie, recently got on the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark and some of these former football players. And he was just talking about how he likes to raise his kids and kind of just the state of his three sons, kind of the state of men in America in 2025, whatever, masculinity, that's the right word. And he received some backlash online for what he was saying. And I think that we're all a little bit confused into what he said wrong. So I'll play the clip real quick.
I keep my boys humble. Like my boys have never had a pair of Jordan.
Crazy.
You know, my boys don't do all that internet fly shit.
That's hate.
I'm like your kids. And no, I don't give a I could be the biggest star in the world. Do not let me catch you being stupid.
I'm gonna do something a little dumb if you
do not.
Famous.
And my oldest gets it. My 15-year-old, he tells the other ones, he's like, yo, don't make dad mad. Because once you get one that's right, he gonna straighten the other ones out. Mm-hmm. So it's just that thing of, in the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities, for one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men. And however you feel about that, you feel about that. Right. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you. They will always open the door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for. Important. They will always be men. And that's always since they were 2 years old. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you're the man of the house. Mm. You make sure these doors are locked every night, this alarm is on, you text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up.
I love that.
I love the ad-libs too.
I love that.
If I'm not there to protect, you got to be there to protect. Because you can.
No, go ahead.
That's the essence of the clip.
He's really getting backlash for that?
That's what I was surprised by.
That's just a stern black father. Where's he from? He's from the South, isn't
Definitely from the South. We're guessing.
Yes, sir, yes, man. No, yes, sir, yes, man. Bro, that to me is like mad people where I grew up. You feel me? Not where I grew up, but like in the South.
That's how I was raised. Both my parents from the South. Mm-hmm. Those things that he was talking about, I've always been taught are non-negotiables. Mm-hmm. This is just how you move as a man, but even as a human being. Mm-hmm. When I see the way that my parents have parented my daughter, my little sister, you know what I mean? Like their daughter, I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have to say, yes, ma'am, no, sir. Always respect your elders. Always, you know what I mean? Like it's holding the door for people. Even if you're a girl, you hold the door for the older person walking behind you. You know what I mean? But if you're a guy, especially for a woman, you know, these are things that I thought were super regular. And I think that what was inflammatory for people at the very beginning, or even throughout, is how he emphasizes men. And there's this certain they think that what he's saying is like a stereotypical man. And I feel like they're like, you're not giving enough room or creating a safe space for if maybe your sons don't fall into what you define as a man, you're not creating a space where they could come out and say that or be themselves in front of you, which I'm like, you're reaching to me.
Yeah, to me, 90% of what he said on the clip was spot on and fire, and I agree with. The one line that he loses me where I understand people could have complaints is over the last 20 years, we've seen the death of male American masculinity. Because that to me is a little bit like Make America Great Again, where you're implying that the era that you're talking about was better than the one we're living in. So I take that as hearing, okay, the standards that we, and the way that we viewed masculinity in 2005 is better than we do in 2025. And I disagree. I think we've made a lot of progress as a people towards honestly just not like allowing men to be more in touch with their emotions and a lot of positive things. So that one line I don't think was phrased right. I think the rest of it was fire.
It's just so difficult though to say that, because I mean, I'm sure you see women say we're in a sassy man epidemic.
Mm-hmm.
I think that while we're hoping that men have better interaction with women, I see a ton of domestic violence everywhere, be it celebrities, regular people. Like, it's the
how old are
issues
they? How old are these men that are doing that?
from all ages.
All ages, exactly.
All
You're right.
ages.
You're right. But I mean, that is majority of them grew up in 2005.
No. I'm seeing a lot of the young niggas, all the little rappers, all the little underground rappers.
You think there's more
Be getting DV
domestic
cases.
violence in younger than 20 than over 20?
I don't think there's been any changes. I think that the same issues that persisted back then are still existing today. That's what I'm saying. I don't think there's been an increase or a decrease. I think that the issue has remained the exact same.
I don't think that's necessarily a fair metric to measure like productivity of expectations.
What I'm trying to basically get at is that I think that we lost the important things about being like a stand-up man, as well as some of the toxic things. Like when we were removing a lot of the toxic mentalities from the early 2000s and just the past, we also lost that little thing of opening the door and being respectful to these women and like how you talk about them and things like that. I
don't think we lost that.
I think that
And I don't think that the way that we talk about masculinity is the cause. Honestly, there's that's why this is such a hard thing to talk about, is there's so many variables. But I would definitely point towards the rise of the internet and social media and those kind of things as more influential towards some of the negative aspects of today's youth than the way that we view masculinity. I think we have improved as a population what it means to be a man. I don't think not holding the door, I don't think we lost that. I think and if we did, it's on the parents. If a parent tells you not to have manners, that has nothing to do with masculinity, man, woman. That just is bad parenting and not teaching
But
manners.
I don't think it's being emphasized anymore.
I don't think
I think you have to emphasize that when your kid is young.
But if you're taking that side, his side, it is man. That's a man thing to have manners. That's like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think if we've lost that at all, it's not because of the way we're looking at men. It's because parents are becoming worse parents and not teaching manners to their kids. You know what I'm saying?
But especially, and this is where it's like, because I do think that at the end of the day, all people should have these things. Again, if you're a girl, it's nice to hold the door for people. Hold the door for human beings when they're walking behind you.
Yeah.
I think that is just the kind thing to do. I think it's the right thing to do. I think everybody should do that. But at the very least, if you're a man walking in front of a woman or an elderly person, that door needs to be held. And that is something that needs to be happening from the time you're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
In every single case.
Yeah.
All of the time. And that is a parenting thing, but I don't think parents are emphasizing that with their sons anymore. And I think that's why that we've lost that a little bit. I think there is more of a sense of like, yeah, I don't necessarily agree with like the whole breadwinner mentality that a lot of these people have. Because I think what's also contributed just as negatively to this fall of male masculinity is this whole red pill, Andrew Tate, movement.
Yeah.
Because the way that they talk about women and the way they discuss women on public platforms and how they go about that shit with women is completely in inverse of what he's talking about. I think there's a level of respect and a level of care that you're supposed to speak about women with that they don't. So I don't want to make it seem like they're doing anything positive in this either. I think they're just as detrimental as whatever other causes we're going to point out.
And that's why I just pointed the line, because 20 years ago, had an Andrew Tate come out, that probably is more accepted than it is today. I think today, yes, he has his cult red pill following, but I think 20 years ago, some of the things he's saying, like, oh, as the man, you need to go make the money. Like, I think these things are probably a lot more accepted. So that's why it's like a semantics thing where I wish he wouldn't have said, you know, like we were better off 20 years ago. Because I don't think that to be the case. I think you can point at, like I said, parenting and the way that people are brought up. But I don't think you should say that as a society, we've lost masculinity in the last 20 years.
It's a hard statement. I don't know. So what do you think? Don't run from this topic.
No, I'm not running. Definitely not. I'm trying to think about what I want to say. Because I could just say stuff, but I want to make sure it's coming off correct. I think my first thought is like, now that I hear y'all talk about it, and then I watch the clip again, I just think not all topics are podcast topics or for public consumption. Because if we're being really real and we're really zooming in on what he's talking about how he's raising kids in his household as a black father, which is a lot different than the way that you're raising young men in other households, in my opinion. Maybe not a lot different, but there's different variables that come into play when you're talking about how young black males should be conducting themselves in society. I think that while the black household can be seen as strict, I think there's certain things that you are instilling in your kids and doing to keep them safe. Like, I think when he's talking about you're not doing all that silly stuff on the internet and you're not doing this, you're not doing that, it's probably so they don't go outside and get in trouble. You feel me? From the way that they're dressing to the way that they're talking to people, the over politeness, holding the door for people, all that different type stuff. Like, I feel like those are things that, even though my parents are immigrants, I feel like those are things that were instilled in me as a kid. You know what I mean? Because like they had lived here for a few years and they had seen it. They'd been around like African-American people that have lived here for years.
But do you think
and
that's
done the
over
history.
politeness?
What?
Do you think that's over politeness, like holding the door?
I don't think so. I'm just saying, like, I think the way that it's taught is like overemphasized. I think it's a Southern thing. You feel me? But I think, you know what I'm saying, especially when it comes to young black kids running around, like, bro, they're seen as a threat. Like the shit about like YNs or whatever, that's a joke. But like, yeah. I just feel like, and again, it's a whole greater problem. But I feel like, bro, when young black kids are out, especially teens, people be scared of them, bro. Like, especially if they're in crowds. Yes. So I think a lot of that is to keep people safe because it's like you're trying to, you know, you're not going to be around your kid all the time. So you want to make sure that when you're not around, they're conducting themselves in a way that's not going to get them caught up with somebody else, the police, this, that, and the third. I also think that in the black community, when we talk about masculinity, while things that we may say may be quote unquote toxic, I think there was a lot done to tear down the black father in our community, which is ultimately 100%. What, when I hear him talk about past 20 years, that's what I heard. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear like the other stuff that may be floating around about women or gender, all these different things. I think masculinity as a whole really doesn't have much to do with gender. I think it's more about, I think the stereotypes are more just like being a protector, being the dominant force, being all this. I think it's outside of gender. And I think what Spencer's saying is right. I think we've done a better job of showing that to people in 2025. Because now you don't have to associate that with just like a man. But I think the idea of masculinity, especially in the black household, is super important because ultimately it's going to keep the black family together. You feel me? And when I heard him say that, that's where I'm hearing that. So even though he didn't say it all the way right, if we were in a living room with like 5 black fathers and he said that shit, nobody would say a word.
But it's important to talk about it on those type of conversations, and these are for podcasts because there's so much negative coming out. and so many people who don't have they're not saying these things from a place of positivity or a place of wanting to see growth or feeding into a community. They're saying it for clicks on the internet, to be volatile, to be just on the other side of shit. Having someone who is intelligent, well-spoken, sit down and overemphasize what being a man should look like in a non-toxic way, that is important to talk about. And I like what you said about how this isn't centered around necessarily the kids, but it's more so calling out, I think, fathers in general.
Mm-hmm.
I think that through these NBA and NFL players, whatever race you are, getting these crazy contracts, rappers, singers, whatever, and having a million different baby moms and not being present in their kid's life, what he's describing is him being a man and showing up every day for his kids, being in their lives, teaching them things, not just doing whatever, not allowing them to do whatever they want or letting their friends or their friends' parents parent them. No, I'm going to be here every day. I'm going to show you how we conduct ourselves in this household and what you're going to go out into the world and display. And I can do that and feel comfortable doing that because I'm going to wake up every day and be there when you have to go to school. I'm going to pick you up from school. I'm going to sit down with you at dinner and actually have conversation with you. On the weekends, we're going to hang out. He's actually being a present, good role model for these kids. Yeah. And that's just as much the takeaway as the rules that he's imposing on them.
Yeah. And I think ultimately, like you were basically saying, if you're saying this and leading with empathy and actually being in your kids' lives, that's what's really the most important. And your household is your household, bro. Again, as long as you're protecting them, not hurting them, leading with empathy, showing love, and also demonstrating how you could show love in the world and how you can be polite and how you can take care of other people. I feel like
probably a great father. Sounds like he's a great dad.
I think that's what matters. And if you want to hate on him, the nigga literally was on the podcast talking about literally being a gay guy in a movie to understand his gay brother more. Like, Anthony Mackie is woke, understands all the stuff that's going on in the world in 2025. I don't think he has these prehistoric mindsets. I think he's probably just a really strict dad. And that's it. And that's all. And wants to raise some kids who follow the rules.
Yeah, it just brings out the belt once in a while. Come on now.
Is that bad?
I mean, I didn't get hit.
That's crazy.
You can see that, though.
That's fire.
You can see that.
Oh, I can see that 100%. I can see that 1,000%.
Damn.
That is... That's nasty.
I know they took that belt off for you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got in trouble.
Are you letting your kid get fly?
Yeah. My kid's getting fly, all the extra shit.
That was some old that shit. He was like the internet shit. I was like, bro, what are you talking about with that?
But there's a limit to it. Like, we're not rich. I'm rich. And you don't get everything you ask for.
Yeah.
Just because we can afford it.
Yeah.
There needs to be a want for something. And it's like, okay, say you want these new Jordans and I just got you another pair. I will give you chores around the house to where you can make money and it's your own money that you're going to spend on these, but I'm just not going to buy the shit because you asked for it. I think that's a good way of parenting.
You know what I think I'm going to do? I don't think I'm ever going to give my kid money, like just like when he's going to go do something or she's going to go do something. Yeah. And I don't think I'm going to buy them really anything. I think they are going to have an allowance and it's going to be a consistent rate and they're going to have to learn how to budget that money to get things that they want and need. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want my kid to be responsible for dinner one night a week and you have to pay for that and you have to get that out of your allowance and learn how to budget. And if you want the Jordans, shit, maybe we eat top ramen, but you're going to see how your choices affect a household from a young age.
Damn.
That's not bad.
I thought you were more on the socialist side. It's on you getting real conservative on us as of late.
I mean, if we're living in capitalism, I'm gonna teach them how to survive in capitalism.
Yeah.
Are we gonna read Karl Marx before bed? Probably. But yeah.
Karl Marx being the bedtime story is nasty. Yeah, my kid could have some Jordans though. This was a good little we did give him game. I started off the episode saying we don't teach nobody nothing. I think we maybe had some good lessons in here.
I think so too.
A little bit proud of us, man. Appreciate y'all for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yep.
Catch y'all next one. Peace.